self-control. Her gravity is all that I know. She's over me. She's over me. She comes with her hypnotic dance. She holds me here with only a glance. She's over me. She's over me. Ladies and gentlemen, we are interrupting your normally broadcast schedule for this special presentation of the Paranormal Portal. How you guys doing? I'm Brent Thomas, and welcome to the Paranormal Portal New Year's Eve extravaganza. We are live and unscripted, unrehearsed, and we have no idea what the hell we're doing, but we're doing it anyway. And, of course, I'm not alone. I am joined by my good friend and co-host, Mr. Don Longbeard. Welcome to the show, sir.
Hello.
And it works better if your microphone is working.
Hello.
And
it's still not working.
It's still not working. Like I said, unrehearsed, unscripted, but we are live, and we are doing it as hardcore as we know how to do, guys.
All right.
People say it scared the hell out of them.
Hello. Hi.
Welcome to the Paranormal Portal. We have taken over the station. This is now Pirate Paranormal Portal Radio.
Actually, I think it's pirated TFR, isn't it? Almost.
Well, it's kind of.
Kind
but,
of.
you know, the idea is that we're here to celebrate the new year with you guys, with all you
Yes.
guys. Happy New Year's Eve, everybody. Hope you're getting drunk and stupid out there. No, I'm just kidding. Hope you're drinking responsibly and not driving.
There's this thing called Uber.
We are now in control of your devices.
Oh, boy.
Dons, thank you for that. She just fed me that. How you doing, Doc? Good to see you. Doc's in the TFR chat. We are broadcasting not only on YouTube, but also on TFR Live and YouTube. We're simulcasting on. We are on iHeart, TuneIn, and TalkStream Live. Hell, we're taking over the world, Don.
We were taking over. We've taken over everything.
We haven't started drinking anything yet, Don, but I'm hoping Don's going to bartend me up something here.
Well, I got something. Yeah, just let me know.
Let's
Do
go.
you need
Let's
to wet
snap
your
to
whistle?
it. That stuff ain't going to drink itself, Don. Come on.
Oh, straight from the vineyards.
Straight from the Longbeard vineyards.
Oh.
I guess that is kind of a Chris Everard, isn't it? Maybe I do a Chris
Oh,
Everard.
my goodness.
I kind of do a Chris Everard. Thank you for that.
Nice.
Oh, fantastic. So we love you all. Thank you so much for being here and being a part of our first ever New Year's Eve live experiment.
Does anybody want to smell the cork?
First of all, Happy New Year to those of you on the East
Happy
Coast.
New Year to you.
Oh, man, we love you guys.
Happy
And
New Year.
let us know how 2019's looking because we're not there yet. So
Happy New Year
if we,
to everyone.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
There's
There you go, sir. A little bubbliness.
Look at this.
Bubbly
And
honeyness.
if you want to see what the hell it is I'm drinking, it's right here in my chalice, my Paranormal Portal chalice. But it is honey mead.
It is.
And it's absolutely lovely.
It's got a
I
beautiful
love this
bouquet.
stuff. I drink it all the time in the Hamptons.
I don't think this is highbrow enough for the Hamptons.
It's highbrow enough for me, Don.
Well, I gotta break out the elderberry.
Oh, yep, Don. Oh, I see. So you're hogging the elderberry? Is that what's going on?
No.
Oh.
I usually drink. I like to mix the elderberry and the mead. Actually, believe it or not, it's
okay.
it's got a rather nice
It's got a nice bouquet.
bouquet.
That's good. Well, here we are, ladies and gentlemen. This is our first ever New Year's Eve live event for the Paranormal Portal, and we are broadcasting until midnight Pacific Standard Time. So
if we get to it,
we'll get there. We might be really all over the map, but we're going to get there one way or the other. Even if we're unconscious, we'll eventually get there. But ladies and gentlemen, this is also a time-traveling event for the Portal as we bring you forward 1 year into the future. So
yes.
not many shows can say that. That's all I'm saying. So we're doing it for you.
Oh, look at that.
But thank you all. Here's a toast to all you listeners out there.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for making TFR such an amazing thing. And thank you for making the Paranormal Portal such an amazing thing. We do a lot of work for the show, of course, but it really is you guys that make this network amazing and this show amazing. And to all of you, we are absolutely, we are just thrilled that you're a part of this and that you want to be a part of this.
Which is the strange part.
Well, that's because they are strange, but they are kind of strange.
They are kind of strange.
Cheers. But
Cheers.
here's to you guys. I'm going to drink in
Clink,
your honor.
clink,
So,
clink,
we
clink.
got a clink.
Clink.
Did you hear that? That's just nice. Oh, hell yeah. I mean, this is good stuff. Oof.
Oh.
This is drink enough to get really stupid in a hurry,
This is drink enough to get drank.
which is a really quick journey for most of the time for us. But I'm just here to tell you. So, yeah. Did you hear the clink? We clinked. For those of you that are listening to
And all of you have to go clink.
this is the nonsense. I got the giggles ever since Brent and Don scared me.
Scared? How do we scare her?
Because I hijacked the system. I said, yeah, this is an emergency broadcast.
I didn't realize that. Oh my goodness.
Nice. So, yeah, I don't know how many of you guys are going to be here because, I know it is New Year's Eve and there's, a lot of things going on, a lot of parties happening, a lot of celebrations and stuff. But we are happy as hell that you're with us now. And, again, Happy New Year's to the East Coast. You guys are there. I'm really excited about the next year, Don.
Me too.
Yeah?
Me too. Because, there are so many things, we were just talking about, we got to get together with our other friend and talk about that. And then, all the things that, that you've got in your head and all the things in his head.
Yeah, it's better in my basement. Thank you. I'm here all night.
Dang. Yeah, I have a 5-family freezer in my basement.
Yeah, I know. You'd think you'd let them out every once in a while.
No.
Ba-dum-bum.
No.
Thank you.
No. But and then the growth. I mean, this last year has just been amazing growth for us, and hopefully 19 will bring that final kick over the edge where we can just portal all the time. We can portal all the time.
It is what we make it, sir. It is what we make it. We are
Yes.
gonna make it so that we can portal all the time.
And if not, we'll just fake it.
Oh, nice! I got a Happy New Year's. All right,
Oh,
from my cousin who is in Michigan.
nice.
Love you too, brother. So we are off and running tonight, and we're gonna just have a pretty good time. I hope we're just gonna have fun. So there's not a lot of structure to tonight's show. Of course, we're gonna read ghost stories. Of course, we're gonna read about the paranormal and discuss it. But
That's
of
what
course,
we do.
we're gonna do it a little chemically altered.
Uh-oh. MCAT says he's doing karaoke tonight.
Oh man.
He apparently he found out that cornholing is a national sport now. Cornholing, where you take the beanbag and you throw it, and you put it in. My God, it's not a dirty thing. It's called cornhole.
Wow.
Dirty.
Can't wait to see that in the Olympics.
Oh, I'm glad I didn't get that one. Diana says she sounds like a drowning cat when she sings. Call us. Do we have the phone lines?
No, it doesn't look like we do.
Dang it.
Unfortunately, the call board is set up specifically to allow hosts on their scheduled time to access the call board. And this is an unscheduled event. I was hoping we would have, but I don't know. It doesn't look like we will. So it's just going to be us and a whole lot of mayhem.
Oh, hopefully.
But if you have something to add to the conversation, use the chat rooms.
Use the chat
we'll be
rooms.
watching
Let
for
us
it.
know.
Lady Death is in there.
Yes.
Keeping an eye on things on the YouTube. And I see Lucky's still in the chat room in TFR,
nice.
but I don't know if she's actually in there or she just is logged in there.
Doing her admin thing.
Right. Well, she might. Yeah, I mean, she might be out celebrating. She might be kicking back, watching some tube or something. I don't know.
Hopefully our tube.
Well, you know. But, you know, I see Doc Kayak is in here as well.
Yep, I saw
And
Doc.
Doc's been with us for ages. He's a longtime friend and supporter of TFR. I mean, just all of the network. He's just been an amazing friend to all of us. So welcome, everybody that is here. And so let me go through the list of all the people in the TFR chat. We got Todd253. Good to see you, Todd. I don't think I've met you before, but nice to meet you. We got Bill13. We got Mr. Longbeard's in there.
That'd be me.
Dawn's to you too. Rebecca G. Not a robot. I love that name. Not a robot. Blue Raven. Luis. I always say Luista. Who's Luista? It's Luista. Our good friend Luis is in here. Doc Kayak, Lucky, and Sophia, the amazing bot-o-matic.
The amazing bot-o-matic.
I don't know what she does, but she's always in here, so she's at least loyal.
She always tunes in without a
She's
without
always
a doubt.
supporting the network. We just love Sophia. So nice bow, Rebecca.
Excellent.
Rebecca sent a little Cinderella bowing.
Oh, nice.
Nice curtsy. All right. So anyway, we got it going on now. Hey. Oh, Ruthie's who's in the
So we got in YouTube we got our friend D and of course Diana and Ruthie C. Let's see here, Lady Death, as you mentioned. Hey Sean, how you doing, buddy? Let's see here. Who else is Vibe to Light? Nice to see you. Vibe to Light is from New Zealand. That's awesome.
Oh, sweet.
Reaching way across that pond.
What? No, now Vibe Delight, is it New Year's already there? Are you guys already in 2019, or are you guys after us? I don't remember how this all works.
I think they should be already recovering from hangovers because they're 18 hours plus GMT to us. So yeah, they're 18 hours ahead of us.
See, I don't get the GMT thing. I don't know how that all works. I always change.
Greenwich Mean Time.
I know what that stands for. I just don't understand how it all works. Like, I don't know how it relates. So anyway, move along. Who else is here?
Okay, yeah, okay. Let's see here. Dana's in there. I believe I saw our friend Danielle. MCAT's in there.
Ramon's in there.
Oh, nice.
Good to see you,
Silex. Jim's there. Jim says it's 12:05. Well, that was probably about 10 minutes ago.
Jim's in the new year. He's already traveled ahead in his time. So
yeah,
thanks.
definitely that.
Thanks for getting back to us.
Carl Mids. Carl Mids is a new name. I haven't seen you before.
Okay.
Thanks for joining us.
Excellent.
Let's see. And I think that's all I'm seeing. Oh, gosh, how can I forget Renee? Tracy Titler. Hi, how are you?
Oh, cool.
Omi, Lena, Terrestrial Mac. Nice to see you all.
Looks like you found a whole bunch of ones.
I did, yeah. Oh, Joe Witten. Joe Witten. That's a new name to me.
Excellent.
Over in Oklahoma. Nice to see you. His New Year's will be up here soon.
Right.
Yep.
He's in the Central Time.
Yep, absolutely. And there we go. I believe I've hit the list there.
Well, excellent. So, Don, looking back on the last year,
Oh
let's
my God.
do the memory time.
Oh my God.
Let's think about the past. This is where the lines get all wavy on YouTube, and then this. What's your favorite part of 2018, Don?
You know, favorite part of it 2018. Well, you know, my favorite times have been on the show with you and all of our friends here. I mean, I'm not just sucking up. I mean, it really, really is. And you know, we've had so many interesting episodes and shows.
We have.
You know, the 2018 was the year of the Nunks. Nunker Road.
Nunker Roads.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well now we gotta give some background to people that may not know the story.
Okay.
So I was reading a ghost story about like some ghostly. It was like an old commune or something, and there was a ghost of a nun and monks that were appearing there. And as I read the story, I conflated both words and said nunks. Now, I just thought, oh, nunks, that's kind of an interesting word. Maybe we should call that the regular portal people are now nunks. And so, like for for a good hour, I'm like, hey, nunks, you nunks, and then it was one of our listeners who got in touch with us and said, yeah, you don't know what nunks mean, do you?
You might want to rethink that.
So-
I think that was Vamp Lugosi.
It was vamp,
Yeah.
and what apparently a nunk means is it's a really saggy scrotum sack. So I was calling everybody a saggy scrotum sack, and I don't know. And then I was reading a story another night about Bunker Road, but I said
Bunker
Nunker Road by
Nunker
accident.
Road.
So you can
Take
understand.
home
You can understand how that
Nunker
snowballed
Road.
here on the portal.
Snowballed, yes, very. Everything snowballs.
Yeah,
on this show.
apparently.
That was-
Apparently. So
those
that's
were-
that's
those
the
were good
background
times,
to
good
the nunk line,
Mm.
and it was a pretty humorous event. And
I think those were the best ones right there.
well, the beans.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You don't remember the beans episode, Don?
I have no clue what you're speaking of.
Oh, come on, you remember when you were talking about black-eyed beans?
Well, I have no clue. I must have been really, sauced that night.
Yeah, well, nobody's really sure what's in your jug, but
Oh,
it
boy.
was funny because that was Don's way of pronouncing beings. Was saying beans, and I, for the life of me, didn't know what the hell he was talking about. Why does he keep talking about beans? It was really, really humorous, and I would love to show that episode. But since we're talking on TFR as well,
It
for
doesn't
some reason the
translate.
audio doesn't translate over. So if you get a chance, look up the Black Eyed Kids episode in our archive on YouTube, and it's at about the hour 12-minute mark.
No.
Or
I'm
hour
not-
2-minute
I'm not
mark?
gonna I'm not
Yeah.
even going to tell you now.
Well, no, you don't have to because
'Cause
I
you've
know
already
it's right
told
after the
everybody.
hour mark.
You know what? Let me go ahead and post the link in the YouTube chat, and I can post it in TFR as well.
Yeah,
so
check.
I'll find it.
Well, we don't want people steering away, but it was definitely a humorous event.
It was good.
It was pretty good. You know, for me, the 2018, of course, has been a really triumphant year. I think for me personally,
Oh,
like it feels like I really have brought the show, a long ways,
Yeah,
and
you have,
thanks to all of
actually,
you,
yeah.
of course. But I mean, it's been such a journey and such an evolution and stuff. So, really pretty cool. Don's got clapping emoticons. That's funny. All right. So I mean, those were some definite highlights, but it's really been cool to do the show and to be part of your guys' life and
right.
and to have you as part of mine. It's been amazing. So I have you all to thank for that.
Oh,
But being as this is the Paranormal Portal, how about we get into some paranormal, Don?
sure.
Shall we?
We shall.
Okay. So let me find something paranormally for us to read. Now this is interesting. I want to see what this one says. Okay. This one comes out of the state of Virginia here in the U.S. of A. And Don, when 10 o'clock comes up,
Oh,
when we're getting close, make sure to let me know because I got to do the thing on the TFR to keep us
Right.
live.
keep us live.
Keep us live. Okay, so I think my house is haunted.
I love it when they start like that.
I know. Well, let's find out why, shall we? About 7 or 6 years ago, usually it goes 6 or 7, but 7 or 6 years ago, my grandpa passed away in the house from cancer. Oh, that's sad. In 2006, my dog Max was hit by a car and died. That's sad too. So this is kind of a downer. Before this happened, everything was fine. One time I was sleeping and something tapped me so across. What? Something tapped me so across. I woke up, looked, and saw a tall man wearing jeans and a blue sweater. I blinked my eyes and I looked again and it just vanished. Another time I was outside waiting for my other dog and I was calling Bailey. I think it's Bailey, I think. And there was this black dog and you could kind of make out the shape. It's hard to describe. I thought it was Bailey. She's black too, so I started to run to the dog, but it suddenly vanished. I ran inside, and there was Bailey. The other day, I was upstairs and watching television, and I felt something furry go up against my leg. That's the second thing that happened to me when I'm getting up to go to the bathroom. Another time, it was daylight, and again, I was watching television downstairs, and this man walked across the window, so I ran outside to see who he was. I saw him, I yelled, "Hey!" But he vanished into thin air. I think it was my grandpa and my dog Max's ghost. That's interesting. That's pretty interesting. Huh. What do you think of that one, Don?
Interesting, yeah. You know, anytime somebody talks about, dogs and cats and all of our furry little friends, it's always nice to know if they're around and such. But then again, you get that one time that you're just not sure, and it might be a grim.
A grim.
Grim.
There's another angle, that's for sure. There's symbolic things that these apparitions can represent. One of them being a grim. So yeah, and ladies and gentlemen, I know that when you think of things like that, you automatically assume it's just Harry Potter.
Right.
But I'll tell you that J.K. Rowling really did her homework when she developed these stories. She really did. She must be just a font of incredible legendary knowledge, because there isn't a legend of the Grimm, and that's very real.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, those things, even though they appear in our pop culture, they actually take root and have their origin in our folklore and in our legends and in our stories from long ago. So very cool, and that is a possibility. That's something I hadn't considered. But you're right. I mean, if you see a black dog, even though it may match what a dog looked like that you had,
right?
I guess you have to kind of consider the idea that it could be a symbolic thing, a symbolic manifestation. Now, I don't know that things like Grimms, are if they're an actual entity unto themselves, or if they're just an energy manifestation to give us notice of things,
right?
To give us a peek at what's coming up. You know what I mean? So I think there's something to that it doesn't necessarily mean there's this spiritual being called a Grimm running around and just appearing everywhere. It just may be an energetic manifestation from the other side to whomever observes it to try to give them a message. So, we've talked many times on the show, and many of our friends and contributors have brought that to the table, that a lot of times, and especially I'm thinking of Diane,
right,
how she talks about, symbols are important. And that's something that, I guess it was very revolutionary to me. And I don't think I didn't know that, but it's something that you don't really remember.
Right.
When you get into the fantastic stories, and you kind of forget that, there's another layer underneath that. So I think that is important, to look at potential symbols of what this stuff could mean, rather than being literal events.
Yeah, I think you can miss things sometimes if you try to, put reason to things, because there's not always a reason to things,
Right.
So I think you may, miss that particular boat,
right.
So
that's very true. That's very true. Now, ladies and gentlemen, tonight's show will not have breaks, but we're going to have to throw in an occasional break here and there. But just so you know, we're not going to have to worry about the timer as far as half-hour breaks and stuff like that. So we are just in charge of the whole system right now.
he just overran the whole
And
time.
I'm drunk with power.
Oh, my. Nice. Oh, goodness.
Sorry.
Now I'm scared.
Okay. I go better.
Go better.
Oh, funny deal. Let's see. I'm getting messages as well here, too. Oh, that was nice. The Nagas just sent me a New Year. Happy New Year, Nagas.
Happy New Year to the Nagas.
Nagas. I'll send them a heart.
Send them a
But
heart. Send them double heart. Oh, hey, Naysay. How you doing, buddy?
Oh, Mr. Naysay. Good to see you, sir.
Here.
Good to see you. I don't mean that in a pun way, but we love you, and Happy New Year's. I hope everything's good in Minnesota, the great land of Minnesota.
Minnesota.
It is. Get in the boat, don't you know? I said it last night. We really don't talk like that from Minnesota, and I'm talking like Minnesotans talk. And you watch the movies like Fargo, and it's like,
Right.
oh, if
right.
you're crying in the mud, you betcha, don't you know? It's like, come on, But however, I will tell you that I've met people in Minnesota that do talk like that, but they're like they're like very Norwegian, and I think a lot of Norwegians settled Minnesota when they came through.
Right.
And as I understand it, they settled there because a lot of the areas of Minnesota reminded them of Norway.
You mean like cold?
Well, I'm just talking about natural beauty,
Oh,
of
okay.
course.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, they definitely are not opposed to cold. Oh, excuse me.
Becky Taylor in YouTube says, Minnesota here. No, we don't talk like that.
You betcha.
Yeah, sir, you betcha.
You betcha, Becky. But I did meet people in Minnesota that talk
Right.
like that, but I'm pretty sure that it's some kind of bleed through from speaking Norwegian and then through, generations,
Right.
just becoming, just this weird colloquialisms or whatever.
Right.
So,
Right. Well,
anyway.
and people quite often ask me where my accent's from, and I say I don't have an accent. I have a Seattle slur.
is that why
And
you
I'm
say
like,
beans?
Oh, shush. Oh, gracious. I'm just going to sit here and have a drink.
So if you go to a restaurant in Seattle, and you say, I'll have beans, and they say, where?
Oh,
Where are they?
point them out so we can.
No, I think that's funny.
No.
I'm sorry, but is that kind of a Seattle thing, though? Seriously?
No.
Okay.
I mean, really, honestly, I spent like my young, well, I should say, elder elementary days and younger middle school days in Seattle, like Seattle proper.
Okay.
And I used to go to Yesler Way Elementary, or Yesler Way Middle School.
Oh.
And so, I spent some time down there, but I didn't think they talked any weirder than I did. So, I don't know.
Well, there you go. No, Doc says he thinks Rebecca blacked out. I'm not sure what's going on over there, Doc. What's going on in that kind of party you running over there?
Yeah, no doubt.
Oh, that's funny. All right, so that was our first story, and I think it was reasonable, not really spooky.
Yeah, not really.
But
spooky, interesting.
I have actually experienced the apparitions going around the house kind of thing. And I've shared that a long time ago, but essentially it was the same time I got the apport of that agate around that same period. But essentially I lived in my grandmother's house after she passed, and I never met my grandfather because he passed before I was born.
Right.
But all my life I was told, oh, you look just like him, you act just like him, you're so much like your grandfather, which I thought was really cool, but I never knew him. And I thought, well, I wonder if he's happy that we're living here when we lived there. And then there was a period of time, and there was construction going on in the house in the upstairs. So perhaps that shook loose some activity. But both my oldest son and I would see from time to time an older man walking outside of our windows. And this is in a very rural area, like right on a lakefront. Very, very secluded. It's not like, you live in town and there might be somebody passing, cutting through your yard. It's very unusual. So I'd go outside, and he'd go out one door, and I'd go out another one, because we're like, who is that guy? Let's go check. And so we'd go through two different doors and converge, and there'd be nobody there. And it was really perplexing. We both saw it clear as day a few times. And it was after that, of course, that I found the apport, and I went, oh, man, that was Grandpa.
Right. Wow.
So I assume it was, at least.
Right.
And it might be a romantic idea, but I think it was. I think it was my grandfather just letting me know that, hey, I'm glad you're here. Here's a rock.
Yeah, well, but it was apropos to your grandpa.
Yes.
It was something your grandpa did.
It was something he was known for.
Yeah.
Going out and picking up agates on the beach. Yeah, so it was really cool. Very quite cool.
Oh goodness.
Oh goodness, what?
Diana says something about the mullets is a still go in my town.
The what?
A mullet.
Oh.
Party in the back, business up front.
Ah, nice, nice. Well, the 90s aren't dead.
Well, I might have to go to the Skullet soon.
I had a mullet back in the day. I made a mullet look good. I'm just saying.
No, yeah, Yeah, that's the truth. I
You
know
ever
I
look
did.
at you can find those pictures online of like
Oh
these
my
family
God,
pictures, and they got these people.
yes.
They are just
Was
really
it
rocking those mullets.
awful family photos or something
Yeah.
like that?
Oh my God, those are so funny. It's like no.
You know, it's funny because for some reason somebody put a picture of me like it was like my senior picture,
Uh-huh.
right? And I'm just kind of, I got a blazer on, I got a cable knit sweater on, and I'm standing there. I got my long hair, and I got that. It wasn't quite a mullet; it was just long in the back, short in the front, so I could see.
That's what a mullet is.
Well, no. Well, okay, fine. But anyhow, but actually, that picture was taken after I had my hair cut because I was gonna go do something that I need to actually be presentable. But my
Oh.
hair used to be down like almost to my butt.
Seriously.
Yeah, yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
So let me ask you a question. When
Sure.
your hair was cut,
hmm
did you feel different? Not just cosmetically.
Did I feel like Samson syndrome?
Right.
You know,
Absolutely. I'm serious.
I have to say no, not really.
Okay.
But I noticed it. I didn't feel different, but I noticed it a lot because obviously when you have hair like that for so long,
Right.
and you get it cut, and you notice it's gone, and I didn't realize how much I really enjoyed my long hair.
Mm.
But then again, I'm a metalhead from the '80s. I was
Right,
like,
right.
Metallica, Exodus, Slayer,
Sure.
all that kind of stuff. So that's, so I noticed it, and it kind of made me feel not part of the crew anymore.
Oh, so it was alienating.
Yeah.
Okay, I
But
gotcha.
but apparently, I was a popular kid in high school because I was ISB vice president. Can you imagine that? I don't know how that happened.
Oh, that's good. I mean, that's something to put on the resume. Because the reason I ask is because when I was on Quantum Connections with Lucky, we talked about hair, and she asked me and she has very long hair. She has it all going all the way down her back, beautiful
Right.
hair, and she was saying, do I believe there's anything to that, with the idea that there's power in hair. And I could only share the story, and ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if you guys know this, but I have this long braid.
Somebody was just saying something about rat tails popular.
It's still popular.
It's still popular.
It's not a rat tail though; it's a Q.
It's a cue, exactly.
Yeah,
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah. So this is my hair, and it's I used to have longer hair, and I was going to job hunt, so I saved a piece, and I just kept saving it. I've had it for a few decades now. But when my dad was a barber, and I would go to him from time to time to cut my hair. Now my dad was never a fan of my long hair.
Mm-hmm.
He never cared for it much, but my dad was a flat top crew cut,
Right.
kind of guy, and from the 50s. He was just the 50s kind of guy.
Right.
So long hair was just sissy and girly and
Hippies.
Right.
Turned into hippies.
so he was never fond of it. So he was cutting my hair. And what happens when you have hair like this and it's braided is the hair continues to grow out, so it gets loose on top.
Right.
And he obviously didn't know that, because he's like, you got some hair that's kind of looks like it got pulled into your braid. Let me just trim that up for you. And I was just going to say no. And all of a sudden I felt him cut it. And I'm serious. I felt like somebody punched me in the stomach.
Really?
It was just like,
Wow.
I did, and it was really bizarre. It was really strange, but I swear to God, as soon as he trimmed my hair, I was like, I couldn't breathe. It was like, I don't know, and I don't believe it was just psychosomatic,
Right.
but it was just like everything changed in a second, and he cut like a third of my tail off,
Wow.
and I was just like, oh my God, and I had to think, well, do I just cut it all off now, or do I just try to rekindle it? So I rekindled it, and that's why it's real narrow on the bottom and real thick on the top, because I've grown out more hair to redo it.
Wow.
But I'm telling you, I felt that when that scissor went through each of those hairs, it was just like, and it was just unbelievable. I was like, what the hell's going on?
I that may be part of your empathy.
Could be.
the
Could be
your
empathetic.
empathetic kind of situation. Because, but like I've always said though, I'm kind of the guy that got away from those kinds of things, the more esoteric things. And Nase said it in the chat just a second ago. He said Don gave into the norm, and at the time I had to, because I didn't have anything going, and I was making a change in my life. So I felt that that was the right thing to do, you know. And honestly, I really hated doing it because, like I said, so instead of the mullet, I've got the you know,
Well, that's you.
I
You
got
got
the
the
beard
beard
going.
power going.
Yep.
You're going full Moses on us.
Yeah, you're darn right. You know, it's actually still not longer than it was a year ago when we started doing the YouTube.
Close,
it's still
though.
no, it was down to here. It was still another 2 or 3 inches longer.
Wow.
Because I used to roll over and sleep on it. You
Did
know,
it,
long
did
hair
it attack
issues.
you?
No, I didn't have alien beard syndrome. But you know, I mean, so you know, I kind of liked my long hair, and I even tried growing it back again, but it just wasn't me anymore.
Right.
It just wasn't me.
Well, there is that. There is that.
But now the beard thing, I'm all cool with.
So I wear this not because it's ever been trendy to me, but I've always really respected both the Asian tradition and the Native American traditions, and you know, tied up in the hair, it's very symbolic. It's power, it's honor, it's, you know, it's such a core of the being.
Right.
Now I have heard, and I can't substantiate this, but I had heard from my cousin who was a practitioner of Kundalini and had done the awakening of the Kundalini and stuff.
Right, right.
But in her group, she had heard that the Buddhists tie hair with karma.
Right.
And that is why the monks shave their head, is to get rid of all that old karma.
Yeah.
You know, and so there is something to that. So I guess I got
You
a
got
little bit of karma
you got
to
a
deal
boatload
with.
of karma going on.
Yeah. Well, I hope it's good. I hope it's good karma, because there is good
Right.
karma too. Let me just say.
You know, yeah, but the thing is, though, you know, well, anyhow, but getting off that particular subject, but I mean, you know, I really did enjoy, you know, my long hair, and you know, it was part of my identity at the time,
Right.
and that might be part of it too. Is it's not wrapped into my identity anymore.
Sure.
You know, but the
But
beard,
the beard
is.
is right. So
Exactly.
you're still into long hair. It's
Yeah.
just that you got the whole beard thing.
Well,
cooking,
like I
so.
said, I'm gonna probably have to go to the skullet someday soon. So you know,
What is a
probably not.
skullet
A
exactly?
skullet, you know, bald on the front, party in the back.
Oh no, you don't want to skull it. No.
No. As a matter of fact, I've told
That's called a skullet.
I've
That's
told
so
many
funny.
people. I said if I ever start, you know, going bald, I'm
Just
you know,
clean
I'm
head.
just going. It's
Just go
all
clean.
go. I'm going cue ball.
Yeah.
And then I'm just gonna Vaseline that.
You could pull
sucker.
that off though. You could pull off a.
I
clean
got
look.
I got a pretty good shaped dome. Yeah. Uh-oh, he's complaining. Uh-oh.
Something's wrong, Don, with my cup.
Apparently, it's your mouth.
Something's wrong. Don, my cup. There's something wrong.
That's a glass.
Oh.
Oh, let me fix that for you. Here we
All
go.
right, serve them up, sir. This party's just getting started. Don, they'll know it's pop if you don't quit.
This is not pop.
It's as sweet and nummy
It
as
is
pop,
good.
though.
It is.
This is delicious. Oof. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
Raise them if you got them. I'm just saying.
Ruthie C says long hair on men is beautiful. I don't like shaved heads.
Ruthie.
Ah.
There you go, girl. You know what I'm saying? All right.
Well, Alyssa, Viking. Here's the Viking hair right here. They don't worry about the head hair. They used to shave that stuff off because people would grab it during battle.
Well, they couldn't grab the chin here.
Oh, they could, but they'd be in front of them. Get grabbed from the back by your long hair. You get grabbed in the front with your beard, and you just stab them in the gut.
You just made all that up, didn't you?
No, it makes okay. Maybe there is a little artistic license in that, but it is truer. I mean,
I'm just inventing history here on the portal.
this is artistic license, creating memories.
Yeah, apparently. Well, there you go. Let's get another story under
Yeah,
our
another
belt. What do you
story.
think?
Yeah, excellent.
Great dialogue though tonight, ladies and gentlemen. It's good to be here, and it kind of reminds me of the old days, Don, when we did the late shows.
Yeah,
We used to do the 10 till midnight shows
Yeah.
on Friday, Saturday on TFR, and this is kind of reminding me of that. And then we would sneak a 7 p.m. on Wednesday just to have a normal
and people
life.
would be like, "What just happened?
Hey, what just happened? I heard something happened.
What are those guys doing again?"
Yeah, we were just trying to remember what the daylight looked like.
No doubt.
We were almost nocturnal. Of course, back then in the winter, there's almost no daylight anyway.
Yeah, no doubt.
So,
Like 5 hours. There you go.
all right, let's get to the next one. Anything going on in the chat in TFR that I'm missing?
Let me get over there.
Wow.
No. Oh, wait. I guess I got to catch up.
It's a GIF party over in TFR.
Yeah,
I'm
it
telling
is.
you. They are GIFing it up.
Wow.
You guys are amazing. You're amazing. Don't
Very
forget it.
good, yeah.
All right, let's get another ghost story in here, huh? All right. Now this one says the man outside. Let's see what that is.
Oh, wow.
All right, this is coming from Virginia, the state of Virginia. I was home alone with my older sister, and we were watching television. Television's kind of a theme tonight, Don. Everybody's watching television.
Yeah, what is with that? But anyhow.
When my sister decided that she was getting kind of hungry, so she went into our kitchen, and I was left alone on the couch. All of a sudden, the lights started to flicker. Jordan came running and screaming out of the kitchen, and I was a little freaked out too. She said she saw someone walking around outside. It wasn't the first time someone said they saw someone outside. For my birthday, my friends came over and for a sleepover, and I was asleep when they woke me up screaming. I told them to shut up and that my parents were asleep, but they told me there was someone walking around outside. It was about 2 a.m, and I told them to forget about it, so we went back to sleep. I never did tell my mom, but a few months later, my mom went to take the dog out to the bathroom, and it was rainy and cold around 2 a.m, and she saw a man outside walking. He was pale and glowing, a white tint.
Wow.
I live out in the country, and no one would walk around at night. From that day on, I am scared to go outside at night. Yeah, that's creepy. That is just creepy, and it makes you wonder, what the hell are they doing? You know, why walk around a house over and over and over? So is that residual, or is that intelligent?
Now, I would say residual.
See, that's what I'm thinking too. But what if they're just kind of stuck? What if that's one of those situations? Now, ladies and gentlemen, there is a phenomenon where I don't know what it is. If it's almost a almost purgatory kind of thing.
Oh God.
But
yeah.
some spirits seem to be anchored in specific locations, like they can't go far. And I don't know what it is. Perhaps something happened in that location that they have to face. They have to maybe deal with it. So it's kind of like a purgatory for them. You know, probably self-imposed.
Right.
But they just can't seem to leave an area. So perhaps they wander around. Maybe they, you know. But could you imagine how desolate that life would be, just to be stuck in a place and never being able to leave it?
That would suck.
Right.
You know, I
That
mean,
would suck.
you know, and you're right. The purgatory kind of thing is this is what you're going to do for the rest of your spiritual life.
Well, yeah, I think
Walk around this property and freak people out.
Right. You can but you can look in the windows, and you can see TV through their window. Maybe that's it. Maybe they want to catch some TV through the window.
Yeah, no doubt.
Because they're absolutely bored.
They're bored. They're watching.
Yeah.
Oh, let's watch Twilight with them.
Jesus.
Wait. Let me tell you, vampires don't sparkle.
Apparently they don't. You know. Yeah, Twilight. Jeez. You know, I didn't mind those movies for what they were. They were. They were obviously geared towards
The younger crowd.
a younger crowd, and it was kind of supposed to be a romance story, but really creepy romance story. But some people were just like, "Oh, that sucks." Well, it was fine. It was okay, but it certainly didn't represent the legend of vampires at all.
God, no.
You know, give me some Underworld right now.
Yeah, no doubt.
Underworld stat.
Well, actually, just Kate Beckinsale, but that's okay.
Kate Beckinsale, yeah, running around in skin tight leather.
Oh.
Yeah, that'll cure you of some Twilight.
I wouldn't notice it.
that'll wash the Twilight away in a hurry. But I keep every once in a while I'll listen to Dogman episodes on all over YouTube.
Right.
And it's amazing to me how many people that have witnessed Dogmen compare them to looking just like the werewolves in Underworld.
Wow, really?
They say that's what they look like.
That's kind of
dude.
creepy.
That's all kinds of creepy, dude. If
Yeah.
you saw that and it was like in 3D and it's standing 7 or 8 feet tall and pissed, what would you do? I'm telling you. Yeah, I'd probably be slipping on my own bowel movement. I'd be like Scooby doing it, getting no traction because I just pooped myself. That would just be terrifying. So I can see why people when they experience these dogmen, it's like game over. I mean, lifelong hunters won't touch.
Yeah.
They will not hunt anymore because they don't want that to happen again.
Well, that's like that story I read the other night about the campers that went up in Priest Lake, and they had that experience. They put up a lean-to and started to sleep, and the lady got grabbed by the hair and pulled and shook around, and her husband was face down in the dirt or being beaten up by something.
Right.
And they got up and they got nothing. She said that she had never had an issue being out in the forest
Right.
until that happened.
That's just it.
And it's that new paradigm where you realize you may not be safe.
You might not know the woods as well as you think you do.
Yeah.
And it's just that maybe there's so few of them. I don't know. But it's like once in a while they show up.
Right.
And when they do, they don't want to share the woods at all.
Ooh.
It's get the hell out. So
Leave, no problem.
yeah, I mean that's just
Don't go in the basement. It's Don's house.
Exactly.
Oh, wow.
So very strange. All right, we got another one here. What is our time looking like?
Oh yeah, we got
12
time.
minutes. Okay, so we got time. We got time,
What's it?
but we're a little bit closer. So let's see if it's going to be 10 o'clock. That'll be the Minnesota New Year. You
Yes,
guys are
yes.
almost at the New Year.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah.
Who was from New Year? Was it you just said Tracy or something, or from Minnesota rather?
Naysay.
Naysay, of course, but there was somebody else that
Let's see. So,
Tracy, right?
Tracy, yes.
She said we didn't talk that way. Yeah.
And Joe in Oklahoma
Okay.
should be about there too. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, you guys are moving up on it.
Happy New Year to you.
Not yet. Not yet.
Oh God damn.
Got 12 minutes.
Oh gosh, I'm just so
And
excited
don't
about it.
do that.
Don't what?
Don't should old acquaintance be forgot or
Oh,
whatever.
no, I won't do the old anxiety.
Yeah.
I'll just sing Happy New Year to you.
But you're
In the-
doing it in the happy birthday song.
Yeah. So.
That's copyrighted.
Oh my God. Some people are just.
Don't give me a
worse.
copyright strike by doing your portal karaoke here. All right, let's get another one under our belt. Let's see, this one's not long at all. So, ever since I was young, I've always been told about the devil riding your back, but I never believed it. This event happened 7 years ago, and this is coming out of Texas. When I was 12, going on 13, I woke up one night and I couldn't move. I felt a weight on me, but I saw no one. The only thing I can do was look around, and Lord knows if I was able to move, I would have ran to my parents' room.
Mm-hmm.
But as I continued to look, I saw absolutely nothing, no shadows, nothing. That particular night, it was a full moon, and I could see the light from the moon lighting up my room from the window above my bed. I did all I could to move and scream, but still no luck. I was so terrified that I started to say my prayers in Cambodian, and I also recited a chant in my head from which I learned from my great-grandmother, who was a monk. Minutes after that, I felt the weight lift off of me, and terrified as I was, I jumped up and turned on all the lights on and looked at my clock. 3, almost 4 in the morning. I thought to myself, for 10 scary minutes, I was stuck. I told my parents the next day, but they looked at me in disbelief. Months passed, nothing happened to me, and I continued to sleep in that room. But one summer day, my mom decided to take a nap in my room. The same thing that happened to me, it happened to her, but in the daylight. She refuses to talk about it. I still don't know what the hell it was, but just some people's opinions saying it was the devil riding my back.
Oh. That's interesting.
What?
Well, because I was just a hacker told in just YouTube chat said, Teresa, you give me nightmares, and I was just about to type in. I was just going to put in, no, this will give you nightmares H4, and I was going to put in Lady Death. I was going to drop Lady Death's new video in there.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what it was talking about.
Oh, like sleep paralysis?
Yeah, well, yeah, but I
Okay.
mean, you got to watch it. It's creepy. I loved
good.
it. It was
Okay.
awesome.
Well, we will definitely have to check it out. Hold on, I'm going to undress a little bit here.
Oh goodness. Oh goodness.
So I'm going to full Dawn vision.
Oh boy. That's a scary thought, isn't it?
Well, I don't know.
Well, I think so.
You're not so terrifying to me. I'm not scared of you, Don.
I'm
Whatever.
I'm not scared of no Dawn.
Whatever, Don. I'm not afraid of you.
Wow, yeah, but yeah, it was just really weird that you read that because.
Oh, okay.
It
That's what you're freaked
awesome.
out.
Yeah,
Okay.
she actually gave me the shivers. So
Aye.
there, I just posted it there, and yeah, it was great. You guys need to watch that. That was Lady Death did an awesome job on that.
Well, good job, Lady Death. I'll have to check it out. Don has been mentioning that all night, though. So
It was awesome. I actually got scared. I was like, "What?"
you're spooking the Longbeard. All right, let me get back on the screen here.
Oh,
Okay. here we
Jess
go.
says no strip teasing, Brent.
Duh, duh, duh.
Oh boy.
Sorry. Yeah. No, this is a body that looks better with stuff on it. Trust me.
This body looks best behind a wall.
I look best from the neck up. No, I'm just kidding.
He's gonna get naked. Check
I
this
am,
out.
I am naked. Look at that, baby. It's all just recently shaved. Come on, girls.
Yeah, and I noticed you just
Come on, ladies.
you rebraided your queue too.
No, that's actually needs to be done. It's a rat's tail up on top.
Looks good.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you, Don.
Little bro love.
It's getting a little sauced, ladies.
You might want to slow down on that. You might drink almost the whole bottle.
It's only 2 glasses.
Well, it's only
there's
750 milliliters.
Oh, I don't know.
It's a fifth of a gallon.
Oh, well, I'll have the other fifth. No. I got to check the vault timer now. 7 minutes, okay. No, I actually got to do it on the hour. So I got about 11 minutes. Okay.
Yep.
All right. Just got to make sure we stay on schedule here.
I'm trying to keep
because
an eye on
otherwise you guys will get stuck with the pre-recorded stuff
Oh.
and not us.
Yeah, who wants to listen to a rebroad when we're on?
Rebroad.
A rebroadcast.
It's a rebroadcast. How you
Not-
guys doing out there? You doing good?
Yeah, I think they're doing good.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're live in the chats. Yeah, it's
Excellent.
awesome.
There's a few. It's nice to see people sticking around in the TFR live chat. And of course, if you want to watch the mayhem that we're doing, you can watch it on youtube.com/paranormal portal. And that is the live feed. Oh, good, Doc. Glad to see it.
Oh, thanks, Naysay.
What did Naysay say?
Naysay says.
What did Naysay say?
He says. He says, I'm so high, so much that I'm witnessing the brilliance of all you illuminating my darkness, and you all look sexy and beautiful. Ooh.
Wow, way to butter that up.
He knows where his bread's buttered.
Yeah, apparently.
Brown chicken, brown can.
Where did he say this? Is
In
he
YouTube.
He's in YouTube?
Yeah, he's in YouTube.
I'm not seeing his chat at all.
Oh, it's because you're not, unfortunately,
Oh, there it is.
able
Okay.
to watch. Hey, speaking of karaoke, I wonder how MCAT's sound in there. He says 10 minutes to 2019.
Woo!
Woo!
Well, it's coming close. I guess I can get another story in there.
Yeah, sure, go for it.
Let's just see what we can whip up here. I hope you guys are enjoying this impromptu celebration of the Paranormal Portal into the new year.
Sorry. I have so many things going through my head.
So those are longbeards. You said what is a longbeard? Those are longbeards. That's my new term for the things that come out of Don's mouth. Just stay tuned for more longbeards after these messages.
Wow.
You just never know what is going to come out of those lips. It's just what?
What?
Random much?
Ooh, boy.
All right, let's read this one. My cousin and my cousin's best friend and their girlfriends were taking a road trip from California to Wisconsin several years ago, and this comes out of the state of California. The story does. So my cousin and his girlfriend sat in the back of the small Honda hatchback. The next thing he remembered, he was waking up in a hospital room. Oh, that would suck.
Ooh.
His friend and girlfriend were standing by his side. He asked them why he's the only one injured. His friend said that he was the lucky one and smiled at him. His girlfriend said she'd been waiting for him when he gets out. There was a knock at the door, and the friend and his girlfriend dashed through the hospital window. In walked his parents, followed by my parents and myself. We were so happy to see him finally awake because they had a real bad accident. He looked at me and asked if I'd seen the others with him. And my mother burst into tears, and I don't know how to answer him, so I said, "They're in a better place now." He gave me a real confused look and said that his friends just came to visit him and that they went through the window. I was really scared. I told him that we were on the 4th floor of the hospital and that he was the only survivor. The doctor was never able to explain if what he saw was due to his head injury or if he in fact saw them. So that's cool. That's sad. It's, of course, very tragic.
But they came to let him know it's okay.
Right. That's so neat.
Well, and I caught that when you said that. His friends dashed through the window. I was like, the window?
Right.
Well, okay. That explains it.
That is wild, huh? So he was the only survivor.
The only survivor. Wow. That, and what kind of guilt, would...
I don't know. I mean, I don't understand that whole "I'm guilty because I live" thing.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, if you're driving, then yeah, I guess you can feel a little guilty because you screwed up a lot of things. But if you're just in the back seat and suddenly you're waking up in a hospital, I don't know how you could carry much guilt for that. I don't think. Well, I don't know. I guess it's an emotional burden to carry,
right.
being a survivor of something terrible while other people passed. But I really believe that the other people probably got off the, I mean, there's nothing negative about passing on, I don't think.
Right.
Unless you're a really screwed up person, then you've got a lot of things to deal with. But I think for most people, it's kind of a release and then a freedom.
Right.
At least I hope so.
Well, and it's interesting because there's a song on the radio. It's by a band called Bad Flowers, and it's called Ghost. Well, it's
okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's an interesting name, Bad Flowers.
Well, yeah, I heard the song, but I didn't realize that was the name of the band. I was like, that kind of sounds foo-foo, but actually, it's a pretty good song. But it talks about it's a song about suicide. Unfortunately, and how. By the end of the song, it's like, God, why did I do that?
Mm-hmm.
And so, and having survivor's guilt, a lot of people that have lived through something like that have given up to saying, you know what, I can't hold this anymore. And, so, I mean, it's sad, and,
it is.
and those are the people that need, to have friends that are there for them. So
that's true. Very true.
And yes, there are friends to the portal that have had those kind of things happen too, and we feel for you and
absolutely
and things like that. But we love you all. But let's not get too dark on this happy occasion of the new year. But anyhow, but survivor guilt would suck.
It would suck. I guess that would suck. But I guess in a situation like that, just you got a lot of road left in front of you. So
yeah, absolutely.
No reason to feel bad about it, but it's hard to let go of things you love. That's for sure. So I get that. Let's see, what do we got? Now we're getting towards 4 minutes. Yeah, I can read another one. I can read another, I think. I don't know. Yeah, I think I got to wait till on the hour to do it. So as soon as the hour, because it'll come up on the hour with station identification.
Right.
And then it'll want to roll into it. So as soon as the...
Well, do you want to turn that on just in the background so you can maybe hear it? Well, you can't do that because of the commercials.
Right. Well, you could turn it on lightly.
Can. Yes, I can. That I can do.
If you turn it on lightly, we should be okay, I think. But yeah, this is part of the tonight. I mean, we just kind of pulled this idea together and on a whim. And of course, Chris is in the middle of moving, so he's like, "Here's how you can do it if you want to." And I was like, "Yeah, I really want to. I think it'd be really great to do it." So that's what we are doing.
Hey, in TFR, Don's 2U2 wants to know if you could play Tribes during one of those transitions.
Absolutely. In fact, after we refresh the stream and make sure we're good on TFR, we'll take a break and I'll play Tribes for you guys that are in TFR. And, I got to use the loo and stuff. So, because we're having a party here in the portal.
It's the party portal tonight.
Yeah, exactly. Let me pull that up before I forget. I got to get it up. Go ahead and talk, Don.
Oh, go ahead and talk. I think New Year is the better time of the holidays per se, because you have this chance, and some people, I've seen a meme going around that says "New Year, New You," and that's they say don't give me that stuff. I'm still going to be the same butthead I was at 11:59. I will be at 12:01. And that's pretty much where I'm going to be. But it gives me it does give your brain the chance to switch over and say, what am I going to do this year?
What are we going to do this year? Well, we're going to make the portal even bigger, better, and greater than it is now.
Absolutely.
This is an exciting year because I think this is the year that we'll really start to do some things with the show that we haven't been able to up till now.
Right. As a matter of fact, last year, Deb Varner, she said that 18 was going to be the year of the portal, for us at least, and it really was, because it really was a launching point.
Yeah.
And we really gained momentum, and we finally,
and she
got
said,
some things. Yeah.
She said it would be slow and steady growth, and she was absolutely right. That's true.
And now it's time to get vaulted into the ionosphere.
Yep. Now we're ready for the rocket fuel.
There you go.
To bring this to the next level. So I'm waiting here. I'm getting ready.
You said that, and I thought of steam-powered rockets.
Oh, yeah, well, we're not checking the curvature of anything, but I'm pretty sure you got to get to more than 1,700 feet to do that. I'm just saying. That guy got to like 1,700 feet.
And then just fell out of the air.
It was like, doop. What's his name, Wile E. Coyote?
Strap this Acme rocket to my back, and let's see
I
how
know.
far I can get.
Got this firework and some roller skates.
Goodness.
It'll work. All right, I'm almost there. Just waiting and listening.
You by any chance haven't heard from Deb? Is she feeling better? I know
she said she was, but it sounded like the hubby was getting a little under the weather as well. So she was feeling better, but he was starting to take a turn for. So unfortunately, it looks like he's going to end up riding that bus too. So.
Well, yeah, that's hopefully Sandra Bullock's not driving.
Yeah. You got to stay over 55.
I can't drive. Oh, there it is.
Frequency radio.
I'm restarting it.
Okay, so
there it
anyhow.
goes. Okay.
So Happy New Year. Let's see, Midwest.
Midwest.
Yeah.
What?
Happy New Year.
Yeah. Happy New Year, Midwest.
Woo!
Woo!
Woohoo! Yay!
Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year.
And you guys in the Midwest, in the Central Time Zone, grab someone you love and give them a big wet kiss, because it's time.
Stay over there, buddy. Woohoo!
Don, a few more of these, and,
and I'll be out the other side of that door.
You might be looking a little better.
Oh boy! Don't pull the beard.
Oh, oh God! I'm just thinking of. Oh no, no. I'm just trying not to think of
It's called Billy Goatin.
Oh, oh, shut up. You're not helping at all.
You're not helping. I'll get better.
Just don't give me things in my head like that. You're not allowed. I'm going to mute you. There's going to be a mutiny.
It's not going to stop you from hearing me. It's just going to stop them from hearing me.
Well, I just... Wow. Yeesh. All right.
Goodness.
So...
wow.
I'm going to drink something quick.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, everybody in the
absolutely.
Central Time Zone. We're going to catch up with you sooner or later, but we're still bringing it in over here. We're still working our way towards it. Because we're on the Pacific Time Zone, and of course, while you guys are long in bed, we're still partying up over here. No, I'm just kidding. No,
So in that case, should we say... did you brush your teeth? Because it's time for bed.
No, that's the bedtime story. This is not a bedtime story.
I just kind of wanted to try it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, come up with your own tagline. Jeez.
Fine. No, Danielle in the YouTube says Don broke Brent. No, not yet. I'm working on it.
No, this ain't no broke back up here.
Oh, no.
What the hell's going on over there?
You're broken.
You got a pretty mouth.
Oh, God. Paddle faster. I hear banjos.
No. Not there's anything wrong with that, but this is my
Wow.
I don't know what to say. All right, we're all rebooted. We're all set.
Excellent,
So let's go and grab a quick refresher break.
Sure.
Are you ready, Mr. Don?
I am, yes.
Is the Longbeard ready?
The beard is ready.
All right, so let me get this queued up. And this is going to be kind of tough. I don't know how the hell this is going to work. You know what? Because we're going to have overlapping music for the YouTubers.
Oh.
Oh, yo. How can I do this?
Well, add it into one of your scenes.
It won't matter because it won't go through TFR because it won't go through Skype. So adding it into my scenes, the only thing that goes through Skype is the microphone. So any of the sound effects and stuff don't go through Skype, which means it doesn't go to TFR. But what I can do is go to, oh man, let me see.
Oh, you can open your Spotify.
I'm sorry?
You can use Spotify, can't you? And play your song through there.
I'm trying to think of what I can show on here.
Give them just the "We'll be right back" static.
I know, but that has a
does
song,
that have a song
on
on
it.
it too?
Yeah.
Goodness.
I mean, I can probably kill it. Maybe. Let me just see if I can figure something out here. Ay. No, I didn't really put that into my head. I didn't really think about this very well. This is that's why this is a trial version of a portal-thon.
It may not work.
You know, Don,
Yes.
what you could do is just point your camera at the TV,
Oh.
and we'll just have to glide by it at the TV.
Excuse us, we're having technical difficulties.
There you go. Just put it at the TV, and I'll play Tribes through my laptop, which will go through both.
And we'll be back in a few minutes.
We'll be right back, ladies and gentlemen. Don't go away.
Happy New Year!
Happy New Year, Midwest and East Coast. We're going to keep rolling here on the portal. So don't go away. We'll be right back. down here. All right. All right. I'm back. Can you reposition, or do you need it on screen?
Oh, no, I'm good. Here we go.
There you are.
Ta-ta.
Ta-ta.
Ooh,
Ladies and
first time.
gentlemen, welcome back.
Hi.
I feel much better now for what it's worth, because that's important to me. I just think that's so important. All right, I'm going to just have that queued up and in the background there. Ready to roll in case we need it. But we are going through the New Year's Eve tonight here on the Paranormal Portal with you guys on this kind of special edition of the... It's a New Year's Eve paranormal-a-thon.
It's a paranormal eve.
It is. It's always fun, though, and thank you guys for being a part of the show and being here with us. I hope you enjoyed looking at the TV, at the monitor display for a few minutes there while I went to the loo. But I'm much better now. I don't really drink much, and when I do, I have an absolute thimble bladder. It's like the size of a thimble. It's like, nope, full, boom, So I don't know. But
people are in the YouTube chatter saying, well, somebody, I think it was D left some juice in the refrigerator and it turned it into wine.
Turned into hooch?
I doubt that, but I wouldn't have drank it. And I drink a lot of stuff.
Well, that's, in corrections, that's prison hooch.
Well, yeah, Pruno. Yep. Good old Pruno. They put it in the back of the toilet. I don't know how they do that.
I don't know.
Oh, goodness.
Good Lord, I don't know.
Anyhow.
But anyway, welcome back to the show, and we are, of course, going through the night paranormal style. So we're reading spooky stories.
Spooky stories.
The last one was pretty good. I kind of like that one. That was kind of a twist. Waking up and boom, there's his friends, and then suddenly they had to go
out
the window. Yeah, it's like, huh? Yeah. Yeah, so very strange. All right. So let's find another one, shall we?
Sure.
But it looks like a few more have come into the TFR room. Let's see. Not a Robot. Dawn. Rebecca G. She was in here before, right? Blue Raven. I don't think Blue Raven was.
Yeah, you said Blue Raven.
I did.
You did,
well.
Yeah. There's Naysay in there.
Naysay's in there, too. He's all over the chat.
Oh, there's Regla. Hi, Regla.
Chat averse. Is Miss Regla in here? Oh,
yes.
there it is.
Yeah,
there's
there
Regla. Hey, Regla, good to see you. Thank you.
Refresh.
Happy New Year to you, Lucky. I'm glad to see you're still with us.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
That's outstanding. It's wonderful to have another of our fine TFR alumni with us and helping to manage the flow of things. I wish we had the call board. That's the only thing I wish. And I didn't even think about it until before the show. You said, hey, we're going to have the call board. And to me, it was like, yeah, we're going to have the call board. But then I remember that the call board has changed now, so it's set up for each host, in their allotted time. So unfortunately, Chris is moving and couldn't make all of those adjustments.
Well, we're doing the best we can. Maybe.
Oh, yeah, exactly. So, but if you have something you want to talk about on the show or you want to add or something, just feel free to put it in the chat room and make sure Don notices. And or else tell Lady Death. And she has the ability to get a hold of me directly, so she can text me if something needs our attention. But Don is, of course, keeping an eye on that as well. So that will do.
Oh, we got to give a shout out to Ken.
Ken?
Hi, Ken. Yeah.
Ken,
how you
New
doing?
Year,
We
brother?
want to make sure we don't leave him out.
Did he just come in, or?
I think so.
Now this wasn't really well advertised.
No.
We just kind of snuck in here and we scared the hell out of Dawn's and in the TFR chat, which was awesome. So we came in and we announced we were hijacking the stream. We're hijacking the station. Your regularly scheduled program will not be heard tonight.
Thank God.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, no offense to whomever show it was, but it was
a rebroad.
It was, but it's cool. Rebroads are cool too. Actually, many of the shows on this network, it's good to listen to them more than once because of all of the gems that are in there.
There's a lot of content, yeah,
right?
Definitely.
And there's a lot of insight and a lot of wisdom that you don't always hear. But yeah, we definitely we reset Dawn's heart. So we did
restart my heart.
we did some CPR up in here. That's all I'm saying. Boom.
Ooh, that sounds good.
CPR?
No. Oh. Tonight's special drink by Hacker.
Oh, nice.
It's called
I still
an
want the portal
evil
punch.
latte.
I want the portal punch.
Yeah, but he makes that's a large.
I
That's a
know.
lot.
I know, but
It's
could it
like
be now? Here's the
fifth
thing:
of
could
this,
it
a fifth of
could
that.
it be scaled down? Could
Oh,
you scale
yeah.
it down for us so
Yeah,
that
you
so
just-
that I don't need to buy a liquor store to make it?
I'm sure you could just use 1 jigger of each. 1 ounce, 1
Well,
ounce of
I'm-
this, 1 ounce of that.
You're sure, but I would rather he told us because he's our mix master.
Mix master hacker.
He's a DJ of the drinks.
The intoxicologist, he calls himself. Oh my!
Thank you.
$3.99 for all you can eat. I'm gonna stuff my face to a funky beat.
Oh my God! See, it's all on the table here. This is what you get when you let us take over.
Oh man! Oh wow! Hey Rio, how are you doing, buddy?
Hey Rio, good to see you, brother. Happy New Year to you, and hope
Yes,
everything's
sir.
wonderful. And got a dancing minion up there from Rebecca. Thank you. Those are always hilarious. All right, let's see what other mayhem we can read about
goodness.
tonight, Don. Shall we?
Certainly.
Certainly. Did you have anything you wanted to read?
You know
No,
what?
no.
I've been looking for stories, but they've been just huge, long ones, and
Wow.
so
Long
they
ones for
haven't-
the Longbeard. Come on,
Oh.
it fits.
Okay, so I will keep looking.
Okay, Don's looking for like one paragraph. Let's see.
Well, ones that don't take up all night to read. 'Cause Don doesn't
Sometimes
read.
those are the greatest stories I've
That's
found. I
true.
found that one, the really long ones,
Mhm.
even though they are a chore to read because it's it's like when you're narrating these things, I always lose my place. And I'm like, I'm trying to fight quick to find out where I was, and you don't want to really screw it up because
Right.
they're so suspenseful. And then when you finally get to the end, it's like, whoa, that was really good. Now, the other side of that, though, is the longer they are, the more it's like, well, is this just some professionally written thing,
Right, yeah.
You're not, that it means, and it sounds terrible, but I honestly trust the paragraph stories sometimes a lot more than I trust the, 15 paragraph dissertations,
Right.
where they're like totally, setting the scene and everything. It's like, wow. And they're great stories, but it's just a little harder to believe. So, not that literacy should be a disclaimer, but you know what I mean. So this one's a little long, but not too bad. Let me read this. It says, and this is coming from out of California. My name is Anna, and this happened to me when I was about 9, and I moved from Japan to LA when I was 7 with my 2 older brothers and a sister. My little brother, June, and our mom, my parents weren't divorced. My dad had to stay back because of his job, but arrived a year later. Well, that's a tough deal.
Yeah, no doubt.
One day, my mom, Matthew, and Caitlin, my siblings' 2 oldest, all went grocery shopping while June, Ron, and I stayed home. June and I were playing when I felt someone pull my hair. And I thought it was him, so I hit him back and got in trouble from Ron. I told him what happened, and he just ignored it. So did I. The next day, when in my parents' room looking for paper to draw on, a little girl about my age at that time appeared in the doorway. She had brown hair and pigtails and was wearing knee-length white dress, and we just stood there looking at each other. Then she walked away without a word. I remembered we had some company that day, so when they left, I asked Mom if that was their daughter, but she had absolutely no idea what I was talking about. I argued and gave up because my mom was getting upset with me. 2 days later, when I was watching television in the living room, Caitlin came to me and said my friend was waiting at the door for me. And I said, "What friend? I don't know anyone here." Then she pulled me and dragged me to the door where there was no one. She was confused, but then said she was there earlier. I asked her what the girl looked like, and she described the girl I had seen when I was in my parents' bedroom. Now, my curiosity was getting to me, and being young at the time, I never really feared anything, and the word ghost never came to my mind either. I told myself the next time that girl showed up, I'd try and talk to her and ask why she was following me. Excuse me. 3 weeks passed, and I hadn't seen the girl until the next day. I went to my brother June and Ron, who were both in Matthew's room looking for some video games, and I just stayed there because I wanted to, and while they were searching, I saw the girl in my brother's bed. June and Ron didn't see her because they were looking in the closet. Then I just yelled, "Hey, why do you keep following me? Do you want something?" My brothers asked who I was yelling at, but I ignored them. The girl was leaving, and I followed her to my room. I tried talking to her. To my surprise, she actually talked back. She said that she was dead and that this used to be her house. She and her mother and father were murdered by her older sister because her parents favored her more, even though their parents loved them the same. She told me she misses her sister even though jealousy is what made her dead. Her sister is still alive. When she finished, I couldn't believe my ears. I said I didn't believe her and that this was a joke. I then said, "What's your name and why have you been following me? You know, this is a very good joke you're playing because you're already creeping me out." She said, "I'm Sally. This isn't a joke. I'm a ghost. I'll prove it to you." After that, she walked through my wall and then came back. Now I was getting scared. I was having an actual conversation with a ghost. I wanted to scream, but then I said, "Aren't ghosts usually mean? Why are you so nice?" She told me that she was nice and all she wanted was a friend. I found out through her that we're the third residents of this house and that whenever she tried making friends with some of the other kids, they just got scared. Then the family would would end up moving out. Well, I'm 13 now, and from that day, I wasn't afraid of Sally anymore because I knew she meant no harm. She became my friend, and we always talk, even though I'm the only one that knows about her. Well, that's pretty cool. It sounds like she may have some ability.
Oh, that's true. A budding psychic, or at least a sensitive.
Right.
You know.
Yeah,
So.
exactly.
Pardon me.
Oh, that wasn't a pour. That was a dump. Got that in my cup.
And I'm waiting for Lucky to go post on our Facebook, and they're sloshed. That was friggin' funny.
We are tipping them back here, but I believe we're doing it responsibly.
Yes.
I don't feel like tipsy yet. Oh, well, maybe a little. Just a little, but that's because it's the robust nature of my honey mead, and it's lovely.
It's lovely.
It's absolutely lovely. Come, Buffy, let's drink some mead.
In the Hamptons.
I already used that one. I couldn't do it again. Let's go to the summer cottage with some mead.
Oh, boy. I tell you, it's not highbrow enough. Hacker, we've got elderberry wine and the mead.
This is honey mead.
Stuff. And
Look at that lovely golden color.
This looks like the blood of my enemies.
Got some really drunk enemies.
Why not? It's the only way to kill a vampire, right?
When they're drunk. I don't know. I never heard that lore.
Well, if you read the vampire novels by Anne Rice,
okay,
the two boys killed themselves by what did they do? I can't remember. They took something that killed them, it was Kirsten Dunst's character.
Yeah, she killed
poisoned the boys and then offered it to
Lestat. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And that's how that happened. So anyhow.
Right. So.
So maybe I won't get bit on the way home. That'd be nice.
No. I sure hope not. Oh, I got messaged again. What's going on? What am I missing? Oh, that's cool. Just some pictures were sent to me of some paranormals. Oh, wow.
What's that?
Looks like some eye shine there. I can't show them because I don't have permission, but that looks like it could be something. Oh,
that's from our friend Shell, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
From Shell Dion.
Wow.
Those are some good potential picks. And look at that might just be frost. It's hard to tell.
Hey, Lady Death, didn't Trent Reznor buy Sharon Tate's house, not Anne Rice's home? Maybe, I don't know. But I thought he was, because I thought he had Nothing Studios in Sharon Tate's home, who was one of the victims of Charles Manson's crew. So,
Okay,
sorry.
guess what I heard.
What?
Speaking of famous people,
Okay.
guess who has a house on Lake Ponderay?
Baggins?
What?
Zach Baggins?
No, no. I'll give you a hint though.
Okay.
I will crush my enemies and to
No,
see them
you're
scatter
kidding
before
me.
me, and to hear the lamentations of the women.
The governor.
The governor.
I certainly hope.
That's true. Apparently, he has a house here.
Well, we actually have a lot of
celebs in this area.
celebs.
Yeah.
Viggo Mortensen, actually.
Yep, Vigo and Matthew McConaughey owns some property up
that's what
here
I
as
heard,
well.
yeah.
Yep.
Ben Stein.
Ben
I like
Stein
Ben Stein.
summers up here.
I've met him just walking downtown. He was walking downtown. I was sitting at what was that place called that I go to?
Did you go Bueller?
Bueller. Bears. No, you don't do that to Ben.
Oh, that would be funny. though.
Where was I? What was the name of that place? It's right downtown.
I don't know.
We've been there before. They have the
McDuff's?
Irish chips. Yes, McDuff's.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
And he walked by and we went, "Hey, how you doing, Ben?"
Oh, did you?
Yeah, he just went hi. He was like, "Hey, how you doing?" You know, he's got his old comfy tennis shoes on. They look like they're about 90 years old too.
Oh, I'm sure that's kind of cool. Yeah, there's a lot of such a small town. There's a lot of there's a lot of high profile people moving in, which means it's only going to get more expensive up
Right.
here.
Yeah,
Oh
sure
my
enough.
God.
Yep.
It'll be only affordable by those who drink honey made in the Hamptons.
Isn't that in Connecticut? The Hamptons?
I don't know. I've just heard it dropped. I'm not really all that cultured, John. I don't know that much. And I never bump into any of these famous people around here, but I suppose it's probably necessary to actually leave the house for that to happen. I never go anywhere, so. I'm very much a homebody, but that was a good story. I hope you guys enjoyed it.
Yeah, definitely.
I hope so. Yeah.
So how is everybody tonight?
Let's hear it for 2019, folks.
Oh, that's
Woot,
funny.
woot, woot, woot.
Todd253 in the TFR chat has a picture, you know, when they're in the movie Ghost, Patrick Swayze and what's her name? That's hilarious.
Her head blew up.
Nice.
Well played, sir. Well played. That is good. That's a good
That's
one.
great.
And Rebecca, holy God, look at all those steins.
I know, huh? I've actually been to a place in Nevada. It was called the Beer House, of course. You know, BEIR.
Boy, they must have stayed up late thinking of that one.
Well, it was owned by real Germans, and
I'm sure it was.
They had frankfurters, and they had bratwursts, and they had giant steins. Each stein was like $15 a stein. What are you trying to tell me over
I
there?
think there's something wrong with my cup again.
Yeah, there's a big hole in it.
There is. It's in the top, and it just keeps pouring out.
Here, just let me hand you this. Here you go.
Should I just hit the sauce?
Yeah, just straight out the bottle.
No,
Straight
that's
up
your
wano.
shtick.
Straight up to wano.
Holy God.
But anyhow,
clean.
this place we were having a corporate get together, and they flew us all down to
Yeah,
Vegas.
I want some of the
You want the
elderberry.
elderberry?
Yeah.
Oh no, that
I wanna try.
Hogging that.
I know, but I'll share it because you wanted to do a blend anyway, right?
Well, I already did.
Oh, you did?
I did.
Oh, so it's not me emptying that bottle then.
No,
You're helping me.
No, that's you.
Whatever.
No, that's really you.
You haven't done it?
Freaking lush.
Sorry.
Sorry.
It just tastes good. I'll save you that much for your blend. For you making your blend.
Thank you.
There's the elderberry, ladies and gentlemen.
Alrighty.
Cheers to 2019 and to all of you.
2019. Whoop, whoop. Oh, yeah, we got to do the...
Got a cling. That didn't ring very well. Hold it by the stem.
Hold it by the stem.
Yeah. Much better. Ah, that's so nice.
Oh,
That's lovely.
oh, goodness.
Yeah, that's a little.
That's a hit in the spot.
That's a little earthier, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. It's funny, though, because when fall comes around and the elderberries start to ferment on the vine, on the tree.
You get drunk things.
You watch the woodpeckers.
They're all sauced up.
They're hanging upside down. they're pecking. It's like hanging
That's
upside
awesome.
down. It's friggin' hilarious, and it's right out my front window too. And I was like, oh look, oh, there's another woodpecker.
I was gonna say you don't need to go outdoors to see those.
Mm.
They show up at every bar.
Oh. Oh boy,
They're all over the place.
that's what we call them up here in North Idaho. Oh
my
boy.
God. That's hilarious.
Ah.
The entertainment's free, ladies and gentlemen. That's all I got to say. You're getting exactly what you paid for.
Oh no.
All right, let's see what else there is in our list of fun for the night. All right. This one's nice and short.
Oh, nice.
One day I was home alone with my little cousin Colleen while her mom was at the store, and I hadn't showered that day, so I told her I was just going to go take a shower and that I'd be back in about 30 minutes. Jeez, that's a shower. That's a pretty hardcore shower, 30 minutes.
Wow.
About 10 minutes into my shower, Colleen came bursting through the door crying hysterically. She said that she'd been watching TV, again with the TV, tonight is TV night, when the walls started to talk to her. I asked her what they had said, and she replied, they called you a... Sorry, I gotta say it. They called you a bitch. The walls don't like her much. Now, Colleen had never heard vulgar language before, and as we never swore in front of her, so I was a little shocked. I put on a towel, went downstairs, and hit the wall. Bad wall, I said as I spanked the wall. Now, what are they saying? I asked her. Now they're laughing at you.
Oh my.
Jeez. Since then, I've moved out of the house and my sister currently lives there. She hasn't heard anything or seen anything weird, but I still refuse to go to that house.
Bad wall.
She
The walls
punches it.
have mouths.
Now they're laughing at you. That's awesome. Like they're mocking her.
Oh, Teresa, don't say things like that.
What?
The chicken speedo waltz. Oh no.
No. That's a mental image I can do without all night. Can't unthink things like that. All right. Let's hear what else is going
Bad
on.
walls.
Bad walls. That's what they said.
You got Lucky rolling on the floor. Oh boy.
Well, that's hilarious.
Yeah, Naysay, I imagine a lot of things are speaking to you, buddy. Goodness.
Oh, man. Probably the cookies. They're yelling to him.
He's got those special brownies
Eat
going
us.
on.
Yeah. He's got the special brownies.
Eat me. He's
All right.
having Alice in Wonderland syndrome.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness.
All right. Here comes another one. Now, this one's a little bit longer, so
Gracious.
this will be a glorious journey. It was 12 at night, and me and my friend Amanda had just gone out of the shower. What?
Huh?
Me and my friend Amanda had just got out of the shower.
Wow.
Well, brown chicken, brown cow.
Oh, it says we have 2 showers. Gosh.
I didn't get that far yet.
I know.
I was still like,
That was literally the next words. We
My
have
j-
2 showers.
my jaw just opened and my eyes went wide. Like, huh? Yeah. It's like I totally went like full Scooby Doo there.
Whoa. If the walls could talk about that.
Right. So this says we have 2 showers. My parents were gone for the weekend in Hawaii. They just go to Hawaii for the weekend. Wow.
That's nice.
This story comes out of Ohio, by the way. And Amanda and I decided we would throw an awesome party that night. We invited the whole freshman class. Let's face it.
Nice.
A party isn't really cool party in high school unless it has beer and alcohol. I gave Amanda the keys to go out to the garage to get it. And she went out there and I heard a scream and shatters of glass.
Oh.
Amanda ran in and told me with very low breath that she saw a see-through man wearing all black. I said it was okay, and I told her she was probably just seeing things, so I went out to get the beer. I saw nothing. I got the chips out, put it in bowls, and a whole bunch of things out for the party. People finally started showing up, and we turned the music up real loud, and everyone was dancing and having a ball, and some people were upstairs, and all of a sudden, My friend Heather came down the stairs with a white face. She said she was going to the bathroom, and she came out and walked through a man wearing all black. We told her it was okay, and she sat down. We sat down with her on the couch for a while, and she decided to go home. Heather said that she was too creeped out. Now, everything was okay. That seems to be their answer to everything. No, it's okay. It's okay.
Don't worry about
And going great, and I saw this man sitting on my couch. He was acting all, I'm a freshman, chilling on the couch, and nobody really noticed. Most were drunk, I guess. I saw him, and I told him to get out of my house. No response from him. So I called some boys over, and they said, what are you talking about? There's no one there. I think you're drunk, Bridget. It's okay. It says it's okay. Just sit down for a while and stop drinking. I wasn't even drinking, though. I told them they were treating me like they couldn't even hear me. So I just got over it, and I didn't want to ruin the party. I mean, if I had a sweet party, I would become the main squeeze in school. So I just went along and danced with some friends.
Oh, boy.
Until Amanda saw him again. She came to me screaming and yelling, huffing and puffing. And I tried to comfort her, and I decided I wouldn't let him ruin my party. So I asked him, please go and don't ruin my party. I can't believe I did it. I was so scared. He just disappeared right in front of me. I thought it was all cool, so I started dancing again, and I saw him looking in the window at me. I just ignored him, and I kept seeing him, but I didn't care. I just wanted to be cool at school. Until a boy, the most popular hot boy in school, saw him. I told him he was just seeing things, and even though I really could see him, and everyone, of course, believed him, so he left. And so everyone else left except for about 5 people. But I just sent them home because the party was no longer fun. Wow. I wasn't exactly cool at school, but the most popular boy, Eric, now paid more attention to me and Amanda. I didn't see the ghost again since then, so I think he just wanted to ruin my fun. I asked my parents if anyone died in this house or anything about it when they came home, and only I didn't tell them about the party, and I think
Of course
I
not.
will just wait until I move out and they can't ground me. They told me that the people before us got murdered in this house, and that's why they got it so cheap. Now I live in a different house very far away. Strange.
In a city far, far away.
Well, I mean, it seemed like they weren't really being malicious or anything.
Right.
They're just, I guess, just goofing around. I don't know. Didn't seem real negative. All right.
Yeah. Actually, Jess says check the call board, but our phone lines aren't working tonight. So
We have no call boards
we have
tonight.
no
You
call
can call
board.
the number, but nobody will answer it because
nobody's
we
home.
have no access to the phone lines tonight.
Nobody's home.
Nobody there. Sorry about that. I wish we did. And if we ever do anything like this again, we will, I'm sure, work with Chris and make sure that we have access to that. But that's something I can't do anything about. Unfortunately, I have no control. I don't think I do. Let me just look.
I'll take alternate endings for 200 there, Alex.
What the hell are you talking about?
That's you just sounded like do 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 do.
Oh, yeah. It wasn't Jeopardy time. I was just looking at the controls here to see if there's anything that I can do about that, but it doesn't look like I can.
Rebecca G in TFR says, I would never want to move into a pre-owned home. Too much history.
Wow. Well, it's pretty cool if you can move into a new home, but that doesn't always preclude
That's
hauntings.
true.
I
That's
mean,
true.
that's generally newer homes aren't experiencing as much, but if a spirit decides it likes your place, then they're going to come in and make themselves at home. And it might be you as a person that they like, or
That's
something
true.
about you reminds them of life, or something about your family reminds them of their family, or something like that. Or they might just be creepy. There's many reasons why they might choose to come to your home, but the fact that a house existed before and had people living in it doesn't necessarily mean that that's the only way it can be haunted. It can be,
Right.
it can have paranormal activity anytime.
Right.
That is hilarious.
What?
Look at not a robot posted this meme. Look at that.
Oh, that's hilarious.
That is hilarious.
That's one way to block a
Or
goal.
it's a GIF, but it's hilarious. Oh, that's funny. It's just falling over like, "Grr," like he's diving.
Well,
It's two robots playing soccer.
playing soccer.
Yeah, and it's just awesome. It's just hilarious.
Lady Death says, "Yep, the shadow person I experienced was in a new construction home."
Yeah.
So
There you go. Yeah.
yeah,
And it might just be that something happens to open a portal, and it doesn't necessarily have to be because of a ritual or anything like
Right,
that.
yeah,
but it can just be
transient spirits.
right. There's some
We've
kind of
had them.
well, we have them all the time. I don't know. My house is like the 7-Eleven for the paranormal world.
Stop in, grab a hot dog and a Slurpee.
Yeah, check out the live entertainment.
Watch this. I'm going to walk through dawn.
Check it out. My Don's mic's not going to work.
Yeah, no doubt. Lucky in the YouTube chat says, if a spirit decides it likes your place, similar to if a bear likes your blueberries.
Yeah.
Well, that would be similar to the portal as if a Sasquatch liked your wild plums. See the correlation there?
Huh?
Jim said Sasquatches like wild plums.
Oh, right.
So
right.
there you go.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Oh, God.
Sorry, I just was thinking of what does that have to do with a portal, but okay, never mind.
No.
All right, I got you. I got you now.
Okay.
I'm following. It's just I'm a little slow out of the gate, but I'm good at the finish.
Have another drink.
Yeah, I just did. Just wetting my whistle. So anyway, but no, that's a good point. But yeah, new constructions can experience just as much because, and additionally, you don't know the history of the land.
Right.
I mean, going way back to when. I mean, it could be a sacred Native American land, or it could have been
Right.
some burial ground. It could have been the site of some kind of massacre or battle, or any number of things could have
Sure.
happened. So it could have been a remote spot where the mafia used to dump bodies. I mean, honestly.
We used a 22 back in the day.
Hey, the boss said this is a good place, huh?
Hey, you like my Louisville?
Yeah.
What, am I here to amuse you?
Watch me, Rocco. I'm going to hit a home run.
Goodness.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, I mean, there's any number of things that can happen that can generate that energetic flux. And it could be traumatic events. It could be just, it could be due to the energetic ley line kind of
Right.
activity,
Oh,
or
sure enough, yeah.
different things like that.
Yeah, the conversion of ley lines, sure,
Right.
absolutely. Ken says, as a kid, half the old farmhouses they rented to us were haunted. I can believe that, especially down there, in
Yeah.
Australia.
Right.
Yeah, I
exactly.
can certainly believe that.
Right. So I mean, there's just activity occurs where it occurs, but no, the thing you can do. Let's say you have a new house, and you believe it's empty, then you can do things to your house to make it hard for an entity to come into it.
Mm-hmm.
Such as having the house blessed, or hanging religious icons that are important to you, or
Salt around your house.
saging, salting,
yeah.
even olive oil on the thresholds.
Olive oil in the thresholds?
Yeah.
I've never heard of that one.
Right. And
Hey,
there's-
good night to Lucky. Thanks for being with
Aw,
us, Lucky.
Happy New Year, my dear.
She says
we
she's
love
wiped
you.
out. So
We love you. Thanks for being a part of this for a while. That was awesome. Good to see you, and sweet dreams. So we are continuing on, ladies and gentlemen, and I hope you're enjoying this journey because,
we got a lot of giggles.
and it's getting funnier all the time.
Lady Death says a mirror by the front door.
Oh,
So-
you know what? I've heard of that. That's a great point. Thanks for bringing that up too. That's right. I've heard that reflecting mirrors at an entryway can be a deterrent for spirits to enter. That's a great point.
Yeah, it's also a feng shui.
Excellent.
It's also a feng shui. I don't know. Design to
Okay.
put a mirror by a door because it gives the appearance of an openness. So I wonder if that might have something to do with it too.
It could. You're right. That's a good point. But yeah, I mean, and of course, feng shui was built on a lot of philosophy of the Orient, and they, of course, are very well grounded in their spiritual philosophy as well. So I'm sure it has to do with many things. Excuse me. I'm a little bit talky here, but let's keep going. What else can we find here? This one sounds good. This one sounds a little different. I likey. Maybe. I haven't read it yet, but let's see. It's a good decent length.
Okay.
You're talking into a bottle?
No, I was. I just happened to turn my head.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Attention, ladies and gentlemen. There's a blue light special
Yes,
on
sir.
aisle 4.
Oh goodness.
Men's underwear is now half off.
Half off of what?
My butt.
Oh.
Men's men's underwear is currently half off my butt. Sorry. I don't even know. This is what happens. This is why I don't usually drink, you know what I'm saying? Oh, you poor people. And you guys are here voluntarily. Oh, we love you.
Oh yes.
You put up with all of our stupidity.
Hi, Pixie. Pixie's
Miss
home.
Pixie, Happy New Year, dear.
Happy New Year.
We loves you bunches.
Yeah, did you stumble over the bush again?
That damn bush is out to get me.
God damn it.
All
I
right.
didn't know what to do.
I thought pixies had wings. Can't they fly over bushes? All righty, let's continue on here. Okay, so the next one is, and this is one I was going to read. So it's so difficult to tell this story to people you just meet because you never know what their reaction will be. Oh, she's insane. I love this website. I know this is where I'm the only one that experienced something supernatural. I know I'm not the only one that experienced something supernatural. Sorry. I don't like reading those intro ones. I try to skip through them, but I didn't pay attention. I was about 15 years old, and I'm now 30, but I tell you, it feels like yesterday. And this one comes out of New York.
New York.
Yep. So I'm 30. It feels like yesterday. I still shiver while talking about it. I was in a desperate need of help. I was crying and felt lonely. Although I'm not religious or anything, I began to pray and ask God for help. Those teenage years were really hard. I'm sitting in front of a small night table with the Bible and a lit candle, and I remember asking for a sign that God, in fact, existed, because I felt all alone. Suddenly, I got up and blew out the candle and just stood there, sniffing the dark smoke that it left behind. As I opened the door to leave the bedroom, a loud but harmonious sound, like the ocean but softer, surrounded me. I felt this nice soft pressure from behind, like a presence. I can't even explain it. It was nice but heavy in a way. And as I turned my face over my left shoulder to look behind, the very strong pressure pushed my face forward. It was like a soft pressure because it didn't hurt, and it didn't feel cold or hot or windy, but it just felt like a pressure, but really soft and gentle. It pushed my face forward, and suddenly, from behind me came 2 basketball-sized balls of flaming white bright light.
Huh.
There was one on my right side and one on my left, and they flew across the hall that was in front of the bedroom as I stood in the doorway. And behind these amazing bright balls of light, there were rays of white light left behind, as though painted with a paintbrush on my walls. But when they came from behind me, it wasn't just a pressure anymore. Suddenly my hair flew all over the place, but I couldn't feel if the wind was cold or hot. It was just soft. And I just stood there. I just stood there and stared at the bright balls of fire whooshing beside me, fast, leaving, also a harmonious whooshing, like a soft, gentle ocean sound, too. When they reached the very end of the hallway across from me, I heard my sister call me, "Ellie?" Suddenly the balls exploded, and I was completely surrounded by white, bright light, like that of a flash from a camera, but even brighter. I couldn't see myself, my hands, body, or anything around me, just bright, bright light. Oh my God, it was truly amazing. Then the light shriveled up to nothing, and my sister showed up at the other bedroom doorway across from me and asked, "What was that? I saw like a bright light. What was that?" I was shocked at what had just happened, but surprised that she had seen it too. So I was kind of nervous and asked her, to just come over to me, and we closed the door of the bedroom. I began to explain to her what had happened and how I was just praying and asked God for a sign. And suddenly, as I'm speaking to her, I look over to the night table and see that the candle was lit. It was the message. It was the sign that I had asked for, and the bright light. I began to tell my story to my mother, and when she got home, and my mom, being so religious and all, was in tears. I told a few people in church, and then that was it. It's just in my heart and memory forever. I'm not even religious, and truly I don't believe in religion, so I'm not a fanatic trying to make the world believe. I just feel that religion is nice, but it's just not for me. It just controls the world, and although I did ask God for a sign, I think that all of us have it in us to make such beautiful things happen. But we just don't know how powerful we really are. If there is a God, yes, I received a beautiful sign, but still, it doesn't mean religion is the way to go. All I know is that I had an enormous supernatural experience that I'll never forget. That's very cool. What in God's name are you doing?
It's not really translating on the screen though. It's not really translating here.
You're all festive, Don.
I'm trying to be. People keep reminding me that I'm a year older in about an hour.
That's right. Don is Baby New Year. So we need a photo of you in a diaper.
No. You want Baby New Year, not fat old man Baby New Year.
We can Photoshop the baby in.
Just put the beard on it.
The bearded child.
The bearded child. Goodness.
They're pretty. They are awful bright, aren't they?
Yes, they're very bright. But I was thinking about it earlier, and I was like, I know Pixie would just laugh her butt off, which she apparently is, but I mean, it just doesn't translate very well on screen. But anyhow, I tried. Diana tried to get me to do it for Christmas too, but it's just not working.
Well, that's lovely.
Here, we'll just throw them around my neck.
There you are.
Looks like I'm trying to just strangle myself or something.
No, it looks like you're gonna probably get a part-time job as a tree somewhere. Ba-dum-bum. Thank you.
Ba-dum-bum.
Thank you.
Let's just
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
wrap these lights around a brass pole.
Now you just made that ugly.
It's like that video of the rather large guy that's wearing like the really tighties, and he's like
the one that Amy said reminds you of you.
No.
Yeah.
What's
That's
that?
awesome.
Thanks, Amy. Amy gets a special mention tonight.
That's funny though. Honest to God, and as portly as that guy is,
I know
he
got
moves.
some moves.
That dude moves.
Dude's got some moves.
So there's a guy, a bearded guy in a Speedo, and he's and that dude is just dancing like he
loving life.
like he owns something. I mean, that guy is just killing it, and he's moving that body like it shouldn't move. Mine doesn't move anything like that.
Mine only moves like that if I'm being chased by Sasquatch.
And as far as you know.
Well, yeah.
I mean,
don't be with me in the woods. I usually carry a pistol.
You do. Just saying. Oh, so not a robot, but Andre. That's wonderful.
That's wonderful.
Andre the Giant. Oh, the Princess Bride is coming up on the GIF war in the
Oh,
TFR.
really? God, I love that movie. That was an awesome movie.
It is.
Are they having a gift-ruption?
A what?
A gift-ruption?
I don't know what you call it, but they're just throwing memes back and forth.
Good times. Hold my beer. Scroll up. Keep.
In here?
Yeah,
Oh,
right there. Hold my beer.
Yeah.
Only in North Idaho.
Yeah.
Have I ever told you about my Hold My Beer episode with my buddy Mike?
Oh, God, no.
Oh,
I
God,
don't
it
know
was
if you
hilarious.
have. I don't think so.
Well, he was trying to remove this big, giant tree stump from like just off the side of his house, right? And it was just there. It was massive. The thing was just huge. It was like 4 foot, across,
Mm-hmm.
Anyhow, he's digging it.
Okay, he's digging.
He was digging it. Anyhow, so finally he's like, screw this. So he's got this International Scout, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's one of those, you can choose It's not just 4-wheel drive, but you can choose the front right and the back left wheel to turn. You can whatever configuration you want to put it in. So anyhow, he puts that into 4-low. We strap a Suburban to the front of that. So he ties the International, ties a chain around the tree stump, ties it to the International, ties the front end of the International to the Suburban.
Oh, God.
Right?
Oh, no.
And literally, it was one of those hold my beer moments. And we were, of course, drinking.
Oh, no.
And so he said, Don, when you get in the Suburban in the front, and then pull it taut, and then we'll do it that way. That giant stump shot straight up in the air and almost landed in the back of the Scout.
Oh, really?
Oh, it was
wow.
like, boom! And you could watch it just fly. I was like, oh my.
Wow.
And everybody else, all the roommates and everybody was standing on the porch going, oh my God.
When was this?
Oh, this was quite a while ago, but it was around about the same time I had my first experience of s'mores.
Oh, right. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Lots of mayhem happened that
was
day.
awesome. Oh, we had great times. Oh, yeah.
What do we got? No, I don't have to do it for 11, I don't think.
You don't think you have to do it for 11? Why not?
I don't think so. I think it was just do it at
Oh, gracious.
do it at 9 and then 10, yeah, and then at midnight, because you only have to do it for the schedules when it's going to repeat. So there's what normally would be playing now would be a 2-hour episode from 10 till midnight of something.
Oh, it's because it's already set up for a 2-hour show.
Right.
Gotcha.
No, I want to see something.
Mm-hmm.
See what this is doing. Yeah, so right now it'd be Ironworks with
right.
Josh Corey.
Yeah, Josh
but
Corey.
Instead, it's us.
Something.
Oh, yeah.
See what
that's
this-
us. Yeah,
There you
That's
are.
me.
That's you. It's playing us.
It is.
We are live, taking over the TFR wave stream, and hopefully we're rocking it tonight. I don't know. I'm having a good time,
Wow, I'm loving it. Loving it.
and there are 2 people in there watching it on the TFR stream. At least there's 2. Well, I might be one of them, to be honest with you. And I just have it open so I can check on it. So there's one other that I don't know if they're actually watching it or not. But anyway, we are cool.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Danielle, definitely send me Clint's ghost story. That would be awesome.
Who, Clint Eastwood?
No, Clint. She knows a guy named Clint here in Sandpoint, and apparently he's got a story that he may submit. She says he's going to type it up. She'll send it to us. So
Oh, okay.
that'll be cool.
Excellent.
Yeah, we love these stories.
Go ahead, punk.
Make my day.
Haunt my day. All right, let's continue this journey, shall we? Did you find anything to read?
Well, I find lots of things to read, but they're like long. Like this Victorian ghost story.
Yeah.
It's like 3 pages long. It's
Yeah,
gonna take
not that
a
one.
while. I am looking though.
Okay, this one's really, really long, too.
Ooh, my New Year's
think I'll
Eve
hold on
among
that
the
one.
mummies.
I'll hold on that one. I'll look for a different one here. We're just digging it up, ladies and gentlemen.
We dig it. as
Digging
we
them
go.
up and serving them fresh for you here
Oh,
on the
my.
portal all night long.
Goodness.
Oh,
Really?
man. So does anybody roll to the new year now? Is it mountain time?
Mountain. It should be. Mountain time. Yeah.
So
Yeah. Mountain time. So like Montana and
Wyoming.
I don't know. Sarah, is it? What time is it in Wyoming, Sarah? It should be. Yeah, I
is she
think
in
so.
there?
She was.
Sarah, if you're in there, let us know if it's almost your new year. If it is, but I don't know.
ROUSs.
What?
I don't believe in those. ROUSs. Rats of unusual size.
Oh.
That's naysay.
Oh, nice. I'm just looking here.
Anybody want a peanut?
You guys in
Stop that
3
rhyming.
minutes? Well, who's
What?
you guys in 3 minutes, right? The lady is saying something.
3 more minutes in Phoenix, Mountain Time in 3 minutes. MCAT says 3 minutes for Mountain Time.
Aw, so we're getting there, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, it's coming up on
then we're
Gentry
just-
Coda's time.
Then we're an hour away.
Bum, 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 bum. And we are rocking the night away with Brent and Dawn in the Paranormal Portal.
Bwah, bwah, bwah. I don't know. That's all I had down.
That's not a great drop. So let the beat drop.
Bring it down.
Wow. Bring it on down.
Sorry.
So you know that rap I said earlier.
Yeah.
That was from the Fat Boys. Remember the Fat Boys back in the '80s?
Kinda, yeah. I remember that now that you mention it.
$3.99 for all you can eat. I'm gonna stuff my face to a funky beat. Love that song.
That's funny.
What
All
movie
right.
was?
Diane's
Crush
house
Groove. I
is
think.
really long too. Holy Lord, that's a long one.
Wow.
That's a little too much. I don't want to get in that big of a story before.
We don't have a.
No, not because of that. Because I want to say, Happy New Year when that New Year stuff rolls around.
Gotcha.
Okay, this one's pretty
You
short.
know what? Don't even start because it's 10:59 according to my computer.
Well, mine says 58, but okay, I'll just
Fine.
wait. Whatever.
All right.
Whatever. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Oh no.
That's all I'm got to say.
Oh no. God love you.
Well,
Pixie wants us to sing.
sing what?
I don't know. Solo. Oh,
Can't hear me. I'm singing solo. Nobody can hear me. I'm just mouthing words. I don't know. What is it? Is it time? I just
you
want
know what,
I want to
Mike?
march this in.
Yeah.
I want them to say Happy New Year in time with them.
Yeah, no doubt.
I'm gonna have to move to the Coca-Cola now.
Uh-oh.
My eyes are starting to get filmy from all that liquor love.
The liquored up love. That meaty.
It
Are you
was.
are you being meaty?
Yeah, I try to be meaty.
Yeah. Hey, my computer just turned to 11,
Hey,
which means Happy New
ding,
Year.
ding, 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 ding. Well, Happy New Year to all of you in the Mountain Time Zone.
Yep, absolutely.
And I'm just thrilled that you did it with us here on the portal.
Yeah, we're doing pretty good tonight. Yeah, we got.
We're
lots
2
of
hours
people.
down. We got 1 more hour to go, ladies and
It
gentlemen.
is awesome.
It is how we roll up in here.
Oh yeah.
Know what I'm saying? So Happy New Year. I hope you guys
Happy
are
New Year.
enjoying yourselves, having a
Glad
good
you're
time,
with
and
us.
thanks. And so that's 3 of our
That's
time zones
3
in
of-
the continental U.S. here that are into the new year already, leaving just us, Don.
Right. Wow. Yeah.
We're
Well,
still stuck in 2018
actually,
over
no,
here.
Actually, no, because you said the continental. And here's the thing. Guess what time it is in Hawaii?
Well, I don't know.
It's only 9:00.
But they're not part of the continent.
Yeah.
So
But
I
there's
said
still one left after us.
Well, yes, there is. And Alaska is probably. Are they on ours?
oh,
is
no,
Alaska on Pacific?
Oh,
or?
I think they actually are. I don't know. Now I got to look.
Now we
But-
got to find out if Alaska's.
Yeah.
But I don't know if we have any listeners up there. But I hope we get some.
Yeah, no doubt.
So if you know anybody up in Alaska that likes the paranormal, they should
Oh,
probably hear about us.
We got to get a hold of Q.
Q?
Xeno Hunters.
Yeah?
Maybe have him on the show.
No.
Be Alaska.
That would be Alaska, but yeah, I mean, he's. I'm sure
Right
plenty
now it's
busy.
yeah. Right now it's 10:00 in Arizona or Alaska.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so yeah, they're Pacific time zone.
Right now it's 10 o'clock or 11
Oh
o'clock.
no, yeah, no, it's 10:00. No, they're
They're an hour behind
they're an
us.
hour behind us. Yeah, so
So-
there's 2 after, but that's not the continental as you
No, I was just
So
talking about
yeah.
the lower 48 here.
the lower 48.
We're celebrating all of
See,
you, of course.
You're
But
you're getting them right tonight. The continental. That's what the island the Hawaiians say, and then the lower 48 is what Alaska says. There you go.
that's right.
You're hitting them.
I'm just on the ball. That's all I'm saying.
Wow,
I'm so well traveled, Don. I know these things.
you're cultured with your mead.
Yes, lover. Yeah, of course. I'm all cultured like a mold. I'm cultured like
Oh
yogurt.
my! So Danielle just sent me another IM. She says yeah. We're gonna have to hear that story there, Danielle. So I have Clint type that up and yeah, definitely forward it to me. That'd be awesome
That would be awesome.
because it's getting creepy. What she just told me, I'm like, what?
Okay. Well, no teasers till you can share
No,
it now.
that's true. Yeah.
I'm
almost
just
said
wetting my whistle here. Okay, so I'm going to get to the next story then. All right. My boyfriend, Eddie, had a best friend named Jeffrey. And they'd been friends for over 20 years. And this story comes out of North Carolina. I met Jeffrey about 6 months after Eddie and I got together. They were nearly inseparable, and Jeffrey was always at our house spending the night and helping Eddie around the house with repairs and things. And Jeffrey had a problem with drugs and was frequently depressed. Excuse me. We had him stay with us as much as he wanted, just to keep him away from the drugs, but Jeffrey would eventually want to go home. The drug dealers lived across the street from him, and he always gave in to the temptation when he was home. One weekend, Jeff became really depressed because his grandfather had passed away, and Jeff started drinking and drugging, and when he did this, he always had poor, pitiful me attitude. Excuse me. He thought Eddie was mad at him, and this depressed him even more. And the night his grandfather died, Jeffrey called us and asked us if we had a pair of dress pants he could have. Then he asked in a crying voice why Eddie was mad at him, and I assured him he wasn't mad at him. Later that night, around midnight, the phone rang, and the call came from Jeff's house. I answered thinking it was Jeff, and it wasn't Jeffrey, it was his aunt. She told me that she had bad news. Jeffrey had hung himself in his grandmother's backyard. He was dead at 34 years of age. Eddie's best friend was gone. The night before, around midnight, excuse me, just a little burp there, but around midnight we were there. We were to visit the funeral home, and there was a knock, 3 raps on the living room window. The dogs went crazy, and I went to the door and walked all the way outside, but no one was there.
Oh, goodness.
I didn't think a whole lot of it until the day of the funeral. I was in the shower, and again, there were 3 raps coming from in between the wall and the shower wall. And I said, "Okay, Jeff," and closed my eyes. I know Jeffrey is still here, and I'm glad he is. Wow.
Interesting.
That's pretty bizarre. Yeah, I that's a tough one. Again, that suicide thing is so rough.
Yeah.
It's just a brutal thing. And it just tortures people that are left behind, That's just a horrible thing. So anyway, if you're having thoughts of stuff like this, please reach out and talk to somebody. Get some help, because whatever you're going through, I can promise you it's going to get better. I promise you it can get better. Just let it. Okay, so do I want to read one of these really long ones? Why not?
Why not? The night is almost young.
The problem
Like
is
me.
my eyes are like really getting... You know when you've been staring at something for a long time?
Yeah.
And you get that like film on them?
It's like me in the mirror. Oh, I'm so gorgeous. Yeah, no.
Thanks for that long beard.
That's a lie. That's a lie.
That was a long beard.
Goodness.
He's dropping long beards up in here, ladies and gentlemen. All right. I met my best friend Diane during our freshman year of high school back in the fine year of 1980. We both lived in Whittier, and this is from California. Diane lived on Mar Vista Street near Colima Road. And if any of you know that area, then you know there's a lot of spooky stuff that goes on there. Just recently, you might have heard our local news about a woman's body being found in Whittier, and it was on Colima Road next to Mar Vista in the Canyon area. The woman worked for Coca-Cola and Downey and was about to file for divorce when she disappeared for a few weeks. They finally found her body there in the canyon just under 4 weeks ago. So far, the murderer has not been caught, but they think it's the husband because for some reason the woman was going to ask for custody of his daughter from a previous relationship. Not only that, but she also was about to testify in a sexual harassment case at her work. Excuse me. Back to our original story, one day Diane and I skipped school and we went to her house. And she had a very nice house since her parents had money, and I was really impressed. Well, until I got inside anyway. It was beautiful with a lot of great furniture and big rooms, but something had me bothered, or rather nervous. And I couldn't put my finger on it, but I was scared. Diane had to use the bathroom, and I asked her not to. She laughed and said, "What's wrong with you?" Needless to say, I went with her to the bathroom, and we left afterwards to go hang out at the mall, and she never said a word about her house. Well, even after high school, we remained best friends, and I was basically a member of her family now. One night, I actually stayed there with her, and had to have been in 1986, I believe. The same spooky feeling was there, but I got through the night with nothing happening to me or scaring me. And then a few more years later, either in 1988 or 1989, I celebrated Christmas at her house. I saw her sister and husband in the other room talking. So I walked over to join them, and they were laughing, so I asked what was so funny. And they told me they were laughing about this ghost in the house. And I said, what? And they went on to tell me that all of them had felt a presence and finally ended up seeing the thing. And Diane said it got in bed with her one time, and she felt someone get in bed with her and thought it was her sister, Nancy, coming home drunk. And Diane says that she was laying on her side, and the person put their arm over her, and she looked down but could not see any arm, yet she was feeling it on her, so she jumps out of bed and runs to her parents' room. They told her that they have often woken up in the middle of the night to find someone looking into their bedroom from the hall. They said it would never go into their room, but they would see its head looking in. Her sister Nancy actually saw it one night. She woke up with the feeling that someone was behind her, so she was facing the wall, and she said she did not want to turn over to look, but was scared it might be a burglar, so she forced herself to turn over and said she saw a black hooded figure standing there. She screamed, jumped out of bed, and actually ran right past it into her parents' room. She was to see it again, but this time in broad daylight, and she said she came home from school at about 4:30 p.m. one afternoon with her boyfriend that she forgot and that she forgot her key inside. Well, they found an open window, so he gave her a boost, and she started to climb in through the window into the spare room used for storage. And she was almost all the way inside when she looked up and saw the black hooded figure walk right by the room she was entering. She yelled at her boyfriend to pull her back fast. And once outside, she told him what had happened and waited for her mom to come home. The thing eventually did come into their parents' bedroom one night, and the mother was the one that saw it and started screaming for her husband to wake up. But he wouldn't. She even clawed his face with her nails, and he still did not wake up. That's some sound sleeping. Your mic's not working.
Yes, it is. That's correct.
So, she managed to run and turn on the light, and it disappeared. I was a bit angry at them for never having told me this from the beginning, especially Diane, because she knew I was afraid that first day I went into the house, but she said absolutely nothing. She said lots of people always got that same feeling when they would go there, and she knew what it was, but didn't want to frighten anyone. They all eventually moved out, and their cousins took over the house. The cousins did not take their ghost stories seriously, but from what Diane told me, the family has been in major turmoil ever since moving there. There is a possible cause for all of this. A friend of Diane's father came over that one day and asked them, "What are you guys doing with that?" It was a statue that was found in a Mexican cave, and according to a friend, it is some kind of evil god that people would make sacrifices to. Diane's mom said they bought it at an antique store and liked it because it was different. Her parents didn't believe the statue could be haunted, so they never gave it a second thought. And yes, they did leave the statue there when they moved out. One quick note about the area, Colima Road, one night when I was coming home from a friend's house in 1998. It was exactly midnight, and just as I was reaching the top of the hill, a UFO flew right over the road.
Ooh.
And I thought at first it must be a reflection on my windshield, but I had already reached the top of the hill and there were no streetlights, and it's all dark there. The UFO looked like a tennis ball at arm's length and just streaked across my path over Colima Road, heading towards La Habra area. UFOs, ghosts, murders, urban legends, all of these are well known around the Colima Road Canyon area.
Wow.
So there you have it. That was a big long one.
Wow, that's crazy.
Oof, that was a long story. Man alive. But that's the thing.
Another reason to stay out of California. Oh my goodness.
Did you need more reasons?
No, I didn't need a reason.
Oh.
California's crazy like Seattle, from what I understand.
Yeah, well, that sounds like a lot of Californians are moving elsewhere.
Yeah, we know.
But their state is taxed to hell, so it's no wonder nobody can afford to live there anymore. So, no, I'm just gonna hit the Coca-Cola.
Oh, come on, you got to finish that mead. You're not driving anywhere.
No, you're right. I'm not. Well, go ahead and pour it. I'll drink it eventually.
Yeah,
Just make sure that won't tip when you put fluid in it.
it'll be fine. I got you.
Ah, well.
Look at that.
Look at that robust
Look at
glass
that.
of love.
Oh, yeah.
That's a goblet of love. I suppose we got a salute, right?
Oh yeah, well,
Woo! Happy New Year to mountain people.
yeah.
You mountain folk.
You mountain folk.
Oh, that was really good, though.
Well, this bottle's gone too.
It's all been used. Oh, man, my neck is sore, ladies and gentlemen. I need some massage. Don, you busy?
Nope. Yep.
You're busy? Okay.
Yep.
Just throwing it out there.
Playing on my keyboard.
Yeah, I'll bet you are. I'll bet you are.
Both my hands are on my keyboard.
Sure.
Thank you very much.
It takes all of them to do the typing.
Yep, absolutely.
Oh, well. I got to rub my eye.
Wow.
Did you find anything to read?
You know, gosh darn it, I'm looking. I am.
You're not
I
looking.
I am. Look, I got ghost stories from Saint Augustine's Ghost Stories, Ghost and Cat.
Are they long?
I don't know.
He just grabs a random link.
Well, no,
See,
I'm
I got
just
this
kidding.
one.
I'm looking through them. Gosh, this guy over here.
I got a lot of expectations. It's a tough road to talk for 3 hours all by yourself.
Well, you haven't been talking all by yourself.
Well, I've been reading
We've
all by
had
myself. I'm telling you.
You know, we've done. Wow.
Anything? No?
Working on it. I'm working on
Okay.
it. Finding something.
All right. I mean, I really could use a break. That's
Ghost
why I'm asking.
Encounters.
All right. So let's read this one. Well, this one's broken up into sections. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Very
Sections are good.
artist-like. In my life, I've had more experiences that I cannot explain. I began to think there was something wrong with me. I was hearing things and feeling things that scared me. I felt alone. I tried to tell my mom, but she just kept telling me that I was trying to get attention and that I was scaring my little sister. When I moved in with my dad, I began having experiences that I really couldn't explain again. But this time I wasn't alone. Excuse me. My stepmom was experiencing the same things that I was. I began to ask my family about any experiences that they had had, and I was shocked by all of the experiences that my dad's side of the family has had, and more shocking, some of my mom's side of the family. These are just a few of the stories that I was able to collect, and it leads me to believe that I am more prone to these experiences than others. Anyway, here are some of my favorite stories. The first one. My dad has only spoken of this story one time, and I think that it hurts too much to keep retelling it. So, my dad as a teenager was wild. Some of his stories seemed too outrageous to believe, but you know how stories can get. They get bigger and bigger over time, but no matter what the story, there's always his trusty sidekick. This sidekick was not only my dad's best friend, but he was his cousin as well. And I think it's better not to give my dad's best friend a name, don't you? Anyway, at the young age of 25, my dad's friend/cousin died of cancer. His death was dramatic and, as I understand it, pretty painful. About 5 years later, my mother was expecting her third child, but unfortunately she miscarried. My dad was away on business when it happened, and he came home. He shared a remarkable story with us. His cousin/friend had visited him during his trip, and he wasn't alone. He was holding a young girl by the hand that my dad can only describe as looking incredibly similar to me. In fact, he admits at the time that he thought it was me. He said that his cousin/friend told him that everything is okay, and he told my dad that, and I quote, "I have her, and she is safe with me." It was a great comfort to my dad when he needed it the most. That's a beautiful story.
Wow.
My mother refused to tell me, this is the next story, my mother refused to tell me anything that happened in her family. So I went to my grandpa. Grandpa has never lied to me and always told me what my mother refused to. He said that one of the most incredible experiences that he ever had was when he and my grandmother moved into their present home. My grandpa was having a hard time and was experiencing things that could not really be explained. He said that all of his kids were afraid to go up the stairs into the upstairs part of the house, so he decided to go upstairs to see what was going on. As he walked up the stairs, he felt the hair on the back of his neck rise. He could feel the presence of something lingering just behind him. He said that he took a deep breath and just kept walking up the stairs like nothing was wrong. He entered the first room at the top of the stairs. The feeling intensified, but he just kept pretending that everything was fine. When he finally got downstairs, he related the story to my grandma, and he still to this day claims that if he had turned around, he knew he would have seen it. Next story. My stepdad's mother had quite interesting stories. Quite a few interesting stories that, though they do not affect me, they are still extremely creepy. My step-grandmom's mother moved her family into a larger home due to growth in their family, and she remembers that there was always an empty place at their crowded table. I found this odd because her mother had 8 children, and yet they always kept a place at their small table open. Why? Because if ever a plate was set in this particular place, it would crack. Whatever was in that home did not allow anyone to sit in that certain spot at the table. The same woman in her younger years lived in a small home just after marrying her husband, and she was cleaning her home when she was suddenly attacked from behind. Someone or something was choking her to death.
Ew.
She was not a religious woman, but had once heard that if you invoke the name of Christ, noting, "Oh, nothing earthly can harm you." So in an act of faith, she invoked the name of Christ, and just after she invoked his name, it stopped. She immediately got up and checked every room in the house, and there was nothing. The next story. One of my favorite stories is of my uncle and his visitor in the night. He was asleep in his room when he heard a noise and looked at the foot of his bed. There, standing in authentic pioneer gear, was a young boy, and he just stared back. And as is traditional in my dad's family, it doesn't matter if the world is coming to an end. You just go back to sleep and think about it in the morning. Unfortunately, I could never do that. Cool stories.
Wow.
Cool experiences.
So, Pixie reminded me of something. Jim said that he was going to arrange an alien roundup for tonight.
Oh,
So-
I don't know. I guess,
I guess they forgot me.
well, they knew we were busy.
Yeah, they knew. Yeah,
We had to have a portal on, so.
Yeah, don't bother those guys. They've got their work cut out for them.
Yeah, we do. We definitely do.
We don't need any of that chlorine or
We're
anything.
at about 40 minutes away
40
from our
minutes.
new year.
Wow. Actually, I got to say this last 2.5 hours has gone really quick.
It does. It doesn't take long, but time always flies on the portal.
Yeah, well, yeah, it definitely does something. So, hey, I got some short ones to read.
Wonderful.
Wonderful.
I would love for you to read something.
Sure. Let me get here. Let's see. In January, I was at a cousin's house. My husband went to the kitchen to prepare our baby daughter's bottle and I stayed in the room with her. I was looking through the door that opened in the living room, and in my peripheral vision, I thought I saw him walk by and go over to the couch. He was just staring at me, smiling. But then a few moments later, my husband came out of the kitchen and walked into the room with the baby's bottle. Meanwhile, the mysterious face I had seen stayed in the same place for a little while and then disappeared. And then we've got a few years ago, my parents went through a very difficult separation. We moved into a smaller house, and by the end of the first day, my youngest brother, who was about 5 years old, seemed to change completely. He went from being a rambunctious troublemaker to a quiet child. At first, we thought this was great because the kid had been driving us crazy. But even 2 weeks after the move, we began to feel a little concerned that he wouldn't go into the kitchen or the backyard alone. One day, some friends came over and we spent the whole afternoon playing in the yard. My brother was having so much fun that he didn't even realize it was getting dark. Suddenly he went white as a sheet and started to cry, saying that there was a scary boy with a messed up face on the roof calling out to him. 2 days later, a neighbor told us that shortly before we had moved in, the couple who had lived here went out one night and left their 6-year-old son locked inside. The kid had tried to make something to eat and ended up setting the house on fire. The neighbors managed to put the fire out, but the child apparently died right there in the yard. When my mom got back to the house, she started to frantically scrape the kitchen walls, and lo and behold, under the white paint was a burned wall. We moved out a few days later.
Aw.
Wow.
Who
Here's
the
a
hell would leave a 6-year-old alone?
well. Why would you? And it said they locked him in. Locked. Why?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, that's ridiculous. Those are people that don't need kids.
Yeah, exactly. Those are the kind of people that don't deserve children.
Yeah. You know, that brings up sore subjects. But anyhow,
Yeah.
but yeah, they needed. Yeah. Hopefully, it's much better.
Yeah.
My aunt had a spooky experience in the first house that she lived in after getting married. The house was kind of a basement with a really low roof,
Wow.
and she had to stoop down to enter. The story goes that every night when she slept, she felt something squeezing her chest. One night she opened her eyes and looked at the edge of the bed and saw that the mattress was dipped downwards as if someone was sitting there. She decided to call in a folk healer and a priest to clear the house. Only then did the haunting stop.
Mm.
One day I was over at a neighbor's house to lend some things for a Halloween party. One of her friends, who I'd never met before, started talking about spirits. A little while later, he turned to me and said, "Wow, I'm feeling a really bad energy behind you. Someone who has the name that starts with an I. Someone who has the name that starts with an I." I froze and I said my grandmother's name had been Arisi, Iraci, Arisi, and
Okay.
that she died about a year before. I had dreams of her often kneeling on the floor begging for my forgiveness. This friend told me that she was always close to me and she wasn't going anywhere until I did something about it. You know, no. See, that's one of those, famous psychic tricks right there. Because he looked at her and said, "Wow, I'm feeling a really bad energy behind you." Okay, so, but according to the person, the grandmother's name was Irisi, and she had dreams that her grandmother was kneeling on the floor and begging forgiveness. So how is that a bad energy?
I don't know.
See, that's one of those. And the name starts with I. Yeah, okay. I is not exactly a really popular name that, or a popular letter that begins in names. Okay, I'll give you that. But when you totally miss the mark by saying, "I'm feeling a really bad energy behind you," define bad energy. Unless that spirit is a bad energy in the sense that they're ashamed or embarrassed or, you know, begging forgiveness, like this person said in the story. So, yeah, don't give me that TV psychic garbage.
Don't give me that fluffy stuff.
Just
That's right. Hold on a second. I want to
yeah.
listen to something.
Oh yeah. TV psychic garbage.
Okay.
Oh, there
Yeah.
you go.
I was just checking the feed.
Oh, well, it's feeding.
It is.
That's awesome. So we can listen to me 5 seconds behind. It's an echo.
Well, it was so good I had to hear it again.
Had to hear it twice.
Yeah. Exactly.
Let's see here. I live with a ghost. I rented a furnished house for a hell of a great price, and afterwards, I started hearing some sinister noises in the attic. I wonder why it was such a great
Yay.
price.
Yeah. Why is it so cheap?
Like footsteps
Wow.
like footsteps or something heavy being dragged. I called the exterminator. He said everything was all right. After a little while, I started to realize that the cabinets in my kitchen simply wouldn't stay closed. Every time I got home, more and more drawers and doors were left open. Then one day, when I got from work, all the doors in the wardrobe in my bedroom were open. I called a pastor friend of mine, of my grandmother's, to pray over the house. It didn't work. The ghost started turning the lights on and off as well as the TV while I was watching it.
Mm-hmm.
I did some research on the history of the house and discovered that a young lady had once died there. I still don't know how the death came about. I've been living here for a year and 7 months. For now, I'm just putting up with my supernatural roommate. particularly since they've never done anything to cause me harm except for making a big mess. Well, there you go. So those are the opposite kind of guests you like there, Brent. You like the ones that clean up after themselves.
I do. I think that's important.
Yeah.
I think if you're going to haunt someplace, you should at least pitch in. If you can't pay the rent, then, pull your weight.
Pull your weight.
You know.
Some ghosts don't have mass.
Well,
No weight there.
Anyway, that was so dry. I need a drink.
I'm drying you out to drink. There was
You're driving me to drink, Longbeard.
Y'all go make me drink.
I'm a social drinker. Someone says, I'll have a drink, and I say, so shall I.
So shall I.
Uh-huh.
There was a time when I was 13 and playing video games with my nephew. It was just the two of us. I thought I saw someone out of the corner of my eye in the house. I didn't say anything. A few minutes later, my nephew asked me if Grandma was home, and I told him no. Then he asked, who is the woman who walked by in the hallway?
Ooh.
I jumped up and the light in the kitchen burned out. Our dog started barking and growling and kept staring under the table.
Wow.
Years later, my nephew and I were traveling and encountered a scary situation. We were sharing a room, and at night I heard moaning.
Really?
I thought it was my nephew having a nightmare, so I woke him up. He said that he thought the moaning was coming from me. I went back to sleep, but I remember feeling a cold hand on my foot at one point during the night.
Oh, foot fetish.
Cold hands. I'd be like,
oh, foot. Oh, foot.
This little piggy went to market.
This little piggy went to my fingers. This little piggy wanted a kiss. Okay, that's just wrong.
Wow.
That just went all the way onto the wrong bus. Choo-choo.
Choo-choo.
All right.
The wheels on the bus go round and round.
I went through years of that song, Don. I'm just fine not hearing it anymore.
Let me introduce you to the minion.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, he loves to sing, and he's adorable singing. It's beautiful when that child sings, because,
I mean, talking about me.
Yeah, well, you're just a whole different kind of beautiful, Don.
Oh,
yeah.
gosh.
But anyway, I digress. But yeah, I mean, it's fun to listen to him sing and stuff, but my God, children's songs, I'm telling you, that child could sing the same song 50 times in a row and love every time. Just be having a ball. And I'm like, it's still really cute, but my God, I wish he'd have, switch the tune. It's, time for a new tune. So I've been trying to introduce him to more popular music now. It's like, okay, we're done with those kind of songs. Let's find Poker Face.
Oh, God.
I'm just kidding. It's
Not
just
Meat
a joke.
Dress Lady.
Enter Sandman time. Yeah.
That's getting better.
Sorry. Speaking of Enter Sandman, is Renee in here tonight, or?
He was.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyhow.
And Renee's always busy, so it's hard to know what's going on.
Yeah, no doubt.
But I was just curious, speaking of heavy metal and stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely.
Kindred spirit.
All right.
I like my metal like I like my coffee.
I like big.
Oh, goodness.
I like big butts, and I cannot lie.
Where did that come from?
Because you said I like.
Goodness.
And that just came. Buster Rhymes just busted into my head.
That's Sir Mix-a-Lot.
Sir Mix-a-Lot. There you go.
Hey, guess what? Sir Mix-a-Lot's from Seattle.
Is he?
Yes.
Awesome.
Oh, goodness.
So's Baby New Year.
Oh, God.
That's Mr. Longbeard, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, gracious.
And did you know it's not only New Year's Eve, but New Year's Day
yes.
is the birthday of our little baby New Year over here.
No.
So I just want you guys to know that it is Mr. Longbeard's birthday coming up in just a few short minutes.
Diaper Dawn. No. Kids, no.
Well, it depends.
Oh, hey, Jess, check out a band called Tess, Tess. They're from France. I think you might like them.
Cool. So what time of day were you born on? Do you know?
Sometime around 8:30 in a lost morning somewhere.
So 8:30 in the morning?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I actually have a few hours left, thank God.
No, not really, because it's just a calendar thing.
You know
It's
what?
not. We're not going to clock it down to the second. You're born tomorrow, and that's it. January the 1st.
Oh, that's good point, Pixie. Thank you, Jess. Check out Tess. Funny girl.
That is cool.
God love you.
Pixie would never miss something like that.
I know, huh? She's just all over those
That
things.
girl is sharp. Sharp little tack she is. But yeah, I think it's pretty cool. So how many birthdays is this now?
According
be-
to last year, this would have been my 49th. But then I realized that somehow I skipped a year. I went from 47 to 48 and didn't even have the year. So I'm actually only 48 as of 8:30 tomorrow morning.
What? What?
8:30 tomorrow morning.
You're going to be actually 48?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you're a year and a half older than I am.
Well,
Excuse me.
chronologically, yes.
More wizened than I.
If we're going to talk about wizened, then that's a whole different game.
In that case, you've tuned into the wrong show.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, I'll be 48 here shortly.
Oh, well, happy birthday, brother.
Well, thank you.
I'm glad that we're here to celebrate it with you as well.
Yes, and I absolutely love being with everybody here. This is awesome. So yeah, awesome. All of our friends in chat, and
I'm just
TFR
surprised at how many
chat.
people are here with us.
Yeah,
It's
I am
just
too. Gosh.
really cool because back in the day when we did the late shows, it was like we'd start out with
listen to us.
we'd start with like to 12, 14 people, and by the end of the show it'd be like 4.
Yeah, I know. These guys suck.
Thank you guys.
Oh wow.
It got better as it went on and stuff, but it certainly has helped to move to a different time slot for the show, and meet all these new people, and that makes the show so much more accessible to people, of course, on the East Coast, who are before it was like 1, 2 a.m. when we came on, so it's tough to get people to tune in, but it sure helped to be earlier. And then to be following shows like Freaky Friday and
It's a rough
Fearless
gig.
with Frank and Paula
Yeah.
on Saturday. So it's always an adventure and always fun. But yeah, it's definitely been great.
Oh goodness.
It's growing.
It's growing.
That and the bedtime stories. All you guys have been so gracious to tune into those every night, and that's been a lot of fun. And I really enjoy doing those because it's a lot easier to prep for those shows than it is
Because he doesn't have me sitting over here distracting him.
No, it's not that. It's just, it's so much easier to fill 40 minutes than it is to fill 2 hours.
That's true.
But, it's just coming up with concept, coming up with
But
ideas.
you have like all of our audience listening every night.
I know last night we got done and there was,
amazing.
as soon as I ended the episode, it was a record for the bedtime stories. There was 51 views as soon as I ended
Wow.
the stream.
That's awesome.
So I was like, wow, that's really cool.
Yeah.
And so that's steadily going up too, which is fun. Thank you guys for supporting that and being a part of it. But yeah, the portal is on every night of the week at 7 p.m. Pacific time. So whatever that means to where you're at.
Whatever that translates
Whatever
to.
that translates to, yeah. But we are absolutely thrilled to be bringing you all kinds of portal all day, all week long.
No, Pixie, we cannot do a performance art piece in my basement recreating my birth. What sense does that even make? Oh my goodness. Teresa Della Vega, she's like, Baby in the Basement. Is that the name of it? It's the Baby in the Basement?
That is such a disturbing idea.
The birth of a legend. What the hell? Oh, that was your glass. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
It's got a nice sound. Let's see this. See if we can do it. I don't know if it'll work.
Oh goodness, what?
I don't know if mead will do it or not.
I don't see why not. I think it's you. It's you holding the glass that's gonna stop it from doing
No,
that.
I'm holding it at the stem. It's fine. I used to do this all the time.
Yeah.
I can feel it's almost going.
Nobody knows what you're doing because you have it on beer cam. Nobody can see you.
I only have. Oh,
Did you lick your finger?
no, I dipped it in the mead. But hold
Ah.
on. I'm gonna get it to sing. I'm gonna get the glass to sing.
Oh
Yeah.
boy.
It'll sing into the new year.
Oh boy.
All right, hold on.
It gives a new meaning to ringing in the new year.
Maybe I should have just licked it. The mead's a little slippery. All right, let's try this again. It's like maybe honey mead doesn't work very well at this.
Maybe it's the glass.
No, it started. I could feel it a couple of times like it was going to do it, but yeah, I can't get it to do it. There you go.
Oh my.
Ah, that's nummy.
That went off the rails.
Why?
I'll never say.
Did we lose? Did we lose listeners all of a sudden? Like,
Where'd they go? Oh, they're just disgusting. What is my moon sign? Stop.
is there a moon sign?
I don't know what my moon sign is.
How do you know your moon sign?
I don't.
I mean, that's what I'm asking
Okay,
them.
well, yeah. Who asked that? Don, Ruthie C. Ruthie C.
My
asked.
moon sign is full.
Let me see. My moon sign for January.
Now we're going to find out what moon signs are. Ladies and gentlemen, I never even heard of moon
First.
signs. But it seems like there's a sign or some symbol for everything.
There is, yeah.
It's like there's a zodiac from, many different countries and different philosophies.
Okay, so what is your moon sign? What is Capricorn moon sign? Moon in Capricorn. Your moon sign describes the emotional and instinctual energies born with the moon in Capricorn.
That means
You are likely to be innately responsible, pragmatic, and
I don't think
measured.
you're doing that right, to be honest
I don't
with
think
you.
so either.
No, it has to do with what.
A moon sign calculator. Here we go.
Yes, there you go. That's going to show you.
Let's see here. Okay, so find your moon sign, what it means.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is
Day
live
one,
action
month
of Don determining his moon sign.
Now, of course,
Here
this is-
live on the Paranormal Portal.
I assume it's asking for my year of birth,
That would probably
Okay.
be right. Yeah,
because all that astrology numbers,
right.
numerology and stuff. Let's see here. 19. There we go.
Aries rising.
Hour, I suppose that would be my 8:30. Okay. Minutes. AM, Greenwich Mean. I was born in, not that's Pacific time. There we go. Calculate. Bum, bum. Calculate. Well, there you have it. I blew up the computer. It's like, you have no moon sign.
Okay, there is no moon sign
Oh,
for
there you
Don.
go. Yeah.
There was no moon that night.
There was no moon. I eclipsed the moon.
Yeah, exactly.
With my
I don't know.
big
That's
butt.
very interesting.
Wow.
I got chat windows open here and there. Let's just see.
This isn't a very good calculator.
Well, I don't know. It's probably clickbait. Now you're on a mailing list.
Yeah, I know. Congratulations, you've won 50,000 trips to the moon.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
And that's what you get for a moon sign.
All right. So let's see what else I can find here. Did I do demons? Did I do?
No, you didn't do any
This is
demons.
a little longer, but
Do,
that's
do,
quite
do.
a bit longer. But I'm going to read this, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, it's not like
While
we
Don
have
sees
all
what his
night.
moon sign is. Well, actually, we only got 20 minutes left.
Well, that's just on TFR.
What do you mean?
What do you mean? What do I mean?
No, I mean we got like 20 minutes. Well, we'll do a few minutes into the new year, but
Like I said.
we're not going to go for a full another hour or anything, are we?
Well, I don't care.
Really?
At this point,
Wow.
I don't work for another 14 hours.
Well, there you go. The time is
Time is
no object at this
Oh,
point.
sheesh.
Back in the 80s, I was a bit of a party girl. Hey, nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, I was a party girl too.
Why are you so broken?
Well, maybe because I was a party girl in the 80s. Okay.
Girls
Sorry
just
about that.
want to have fun. All right. Hey, nothing wrong with that. I was in my early 20s and liked to dance and live it up on the weekends. At that particular time, I lived with my sister, Lucille, in Whittier near Washington Boulevard and Broadway. This is coming out of California. So I would often come home pretty buzzed and would go right to sleep, which makes sense to me. That was the time that I would see, hear, and feel unexplainable visitors. My niece, who was 5 at the time, says she would hear me talking to people, and sometimes she would hear me laughing or crying. She just assumed I was talking on my phone or something, but she never gave it much thought. Well, she was just 5, so why would she? Crazy thing is that I would also hear people and do remember talking to someone. Many a time I thought it was just the alcohol and that I was in a deep sleep, and most drunk people get in when they hit the pillow and crash. But I know I wasn't dreaming. I heard the voice and I could hear my own voice as well, and there were several times I couldn't get up and had my eyes open seeing someone coming down the hallway towards me. I was terrified and kept trying to move any part of my body or yell, but I never could. And these were in the morning, already, so there was light in my room and all through the house. One day I woke up to find I was being made love to.
Whoa.
Hmm?
I just engaged.
Raggy. I'm not kidding. I could feel.
Oh no!
I
It's
could
one of those.
feel the darn thing doing what it was doing. That's all I'm going to say. And felt the whole endorphin rush. I would also like to add that the sleep paralysis and conversations were not only when I would come home from after partying. This would happen on normal everyday work nights. My 5-year-old niece told us that one time she saw a figure standing in her doorway looking at her. She hid under the covers and passed out, fell asleep. But in the morning, she was full of sweat from being under the covers, and it's a miracle she didn't suffocate. She said that she thought it was me coming home from a late night, but I was already home and in bed, and she's now 24 years old, and she still swears she saw a figure looking in at her that night. Well, one day I was just staring at the walls in my bedroom thinking, my God, if I didn't see faces of demons. The walls had wood paneling on them. Yes, wood paneling is like the clouds where you can see several different things. But I could actually see 2 forms of demons. I told my sister, and she told me to keep quiet because she didn't want to scaring my niece. And I really wonder if that had anything to do with all that. The wood paneling was taken down when they painted instead. Fast forward to 2003, and now living in the Sun Valley next to Burbank with my sister Rose, and we are in the process of packing up because she bought a house in Whittier near my mom. And one Saturday morning, I woke up tired and cranky and irritable and just did not want to work. I just did not feel like packing any boxes or cleaning or sweeping. I just didn't. I told my sister I was not feeling well, so she left me alone, and I could tell she was pissed. So I'm laying there on the bed, and it was about 10:30, and I suddenly couldn't move, and I couldn't scream, and I couldn't think. One thing I could do was hear, and I heard 2 distinct voices. One was a demonic woman that said, "We should have never let you get away from us." Then a demonic man's voice said, "This time you will not get away from us." And I struggled and felt my mouth moving and calling my sister Rose. Actually, I know I was screaming her name, but she was downstairs in the garage and couldn't hear me. After what seemed like an eternity, the pressure suddenly left and I got up. I ran downstairs and asked Rose if she could hear me calling her name, and she said no. And I told her what happened, and she said, "Why didn't you pray to God?" I said that I couldn't think. I was just too scared, and it caught me off guard. To this day, I wonder who the heck those demons were and what they meant by "we should never let you get away from us." Was it the same forces that were tormenting me back at my sister Lucille's house?
Wow.
And what's weird is that was the first time I actually heard a female demon voice, because at Lucille's I always heard male voices. Here we are in 2007, and every now and then I get sleep paralysis, but I am thoroughly prepared. I have dreams where I actually talk down the demons that are attacking me and act like some sort of superhero. I rebuke them in the name of Jesus Christ, and it always works. They are defeated. For all of you who have been having this happen to you, I notice that none of you rebuke the demons. Instead, try to fight them off or scream. Rebuking them in the name of Jesus Christ will send them fleeing, trust me. They are powerful words, and I've always felt that there is some kind of power struggle for my soul. And I have never done drugs or played with Ouija boards or anything like that, but I've been suffering from depression for a while now. And I know that demons head straight for those who suffer from this. We are easy targets, but we can defeat them by simply rebuking them in Jesus' name. One time, the sleep paralysis hit me, and I could not remember the word rebuke, and I could not get those bastards off of me. I instead kept telling them in a sissy way to get off me and leave me alone. And as you know, any bully hearing those words will just pound on you more. I noticed that after the attacks are over, I'm exhausted, both mentally and physically, but it seems that they have left me alone for now, and I'm somewhat at peace. A funny thing did happen about 3 to 4 months ago. I was sleeping on a day bed, And one morning I got up a little too early for work, so I got to turn off the alarm before it went off because it was so loud and always scares the hell out of me. But and to put my fuzzy booties on, I then laid back down in bed, but I scooted all the way towards the bottom of the bed so I could rest my feet up on the metal frame. And I somehow managed to fall deep asleep again and was going to be late for work. And I say going to be late because of the weird thing that happened next. Remember that I had my feet up on the metal frame, so they were resting on the top, right? Well, something or someone whacked my feet hard, and it startled me awake. I sat up thinking someone was there like my mom, but I was alone. I know I felt it because it shook my whole body, and I woke up. It was like some old mother coming by your bed and smacking you with that get up, you good for nothing lazy son of a biscuit eater attitude. But what amazed me was that I was awakened at the usual time that I get up, at 6 a.m. That right there proves it was no unusual coincidence because, first of all, I felt the hard whack, and secondly, it hit me at the exact time to get up. I have 3 cats that sleep in my room. At that time this happened, I had a black cat laying next to me, but she never reacted in any way at all, like most animals do when they sense a ghostly presence. However, this thing that whacked me did not seem evil. How do I know? I could just tell, or rather, I could feel it. It seemed like a genuine caring spirit, like a guardian angel that people say we all have. I live at home with my mom now and back in my old room from high school, and nothing weird ever happens in that room except for the recent whacking of my feet that woke me up. I'm not a churchgoer, but I'm strongly anchored in my faith with God and pray to Him all day long. I know that my faith protects me like an armor, but I also know that I'm weak in many areas, and one of them being depression. Demons will look for any chink in the armor to break in, and depression is one of their favorites, so maybe that's why I always feel like I'm in some sort of tug of war and have to constantly be on my guard. I'm just glad I know now what I didn't know back in 1989, and I sure hope that those of you reading this will start rebuking the demons when you find yourself being pinned down or menaced. So, there you go. Very interesting. And good story.
You know, I always love it. Oh, I don't do drugs and I don't drink. Well, okay. So why did you have to, like, make us aware of that? Did you think did you think we thought you were crazy to begin with?
Probably. I mean, that's anybody that's talking about the paranormal. Those are the things that come up first.
Yeah, true enough.
Were you under the influence of anything that could impair your vision or impair your ability to properly perceive it?
Right.
Chemicals, drinking, whatever. Or are you mentally ill? Are you on any doctor's medicines that might affect you? Or,
Right.
Even, serious investigators will even check if a woman is menstruating when they're having these things, because there's such a chemical change that it can...
That's sexist.
Well, a little bit, but I mean, it is a true physiological change in the body, and it can have effects that some people aren't usually familiar with.
Right.
So I don't know. I mean, if I've had the sleep paralysis thing, but never to this level that I know of. I don't recall any voices ever. I did remember a presence at the very end, and dealt with that, but it was quite a struggle. That is no joke. That is a pretty tough thing, dealing with those kind of things.
Wow.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah. So they figured it out before I did in the chat about where my moon is.
Okay, what is it?
Well, apparently it's in Pisces.
Oh, okay. So what does that mean, though? What does your moon mean?
Yeah, well, okay, let's do this. The sign occupied by the moon at the time of your birth is an indicator of your emotional and physical nature. It describes that explains why I'm fat. Pisces is water. I'm retaining water. Maybe it's just a little bit of that mead and the elderberry. Who knows? It describes your unconscious instinctive reactions, what is innate, perhaps inherited from your mother or reflected in the feminine dimension of your life. It tells us what kind of experience you need in order to feel emotionally satisfied. I'm not liking this. Pisces is one of the water signs, signs of tides of life and emotions. With the moon in your sign, your primary need is to feel at one, to transcend mundane reality and lose yourself in something mystical, way beyond the personal self. You are attuned to a subtler dimension of life, sensitive, impressionable, picking up on feelings and atmosphere the way a sponge absorbs water. Empathy.
You're an empath.
You need to find something to which you can wholeheartedly devote yourself without danger of being abused or losing your own sense of self completely. Treat alcohol, drugs, television, and virtual reality with caution. They may offer an easy, available route to the transcendent, otherworldly states you need, but they drain you and dull what is your most valuable asset, your imagination and your psychic sensitivity. Many poets, musicians, filmmakers, and actors have a Piscean moon. It opens a channel through which creative inspiration can flow from the highest level. So do mystics and spiritual gurus.
Wow.
Extremely emotional, your feelings will be the dominating factor within your experience. So that you cry or laugh often, easily, and in quick succession. The confusion caused by those turbulent, ever-changing waves can be cleared if you form a positive relationship with the real element of water. Living on or near water is perfect. That explains why I love being around the ocean. But then again, my moon is in Pisces. Living on or near water is perfect. Well, also Lake Pend Oreille. It's one of the fifth deepest lakes in the world, actually. But trips to the seaside, going fishing, or strolling along the riverbank will serve just as well. There you go. If all else fails, a deep, warm bath is beautiful, scented with scented oils, soft music, and candlelight will help you reconnect to still waters within. But the purest stream is to be found in the silence of deep meditation or in surrendering to the flow of Tao. In, for example, Tai Chi, align yourself with that flows, and who knows what inspiration will come.
Well, excellent.
There you go.
You got that going for you.
Huh.
So you just need water, and you have ponds right on your property.
Oh
so-
yeah, I got. That's where my water comes from, straight out of the river.
Yeah, and then you got the river running by you
Yep.
as well. So you are
Yeah.
surrounded by.
I am. I always have been, actually. Except when I lived in Spokane.
Oh yeah.
Well, the Spokane River. But you know what? No, I lived in an apartment literally a block away from the Spokane River.
Oh okay. Well then you're
And I
still near
absolutely
water.
loved that apartment. That was awesome. That was a great apartment.
Oh cool. Look at that. The phone line came up. That's weird. Well, the phones are available now
Wow.
with literally 4 minutes left of the show, or maybe 5 or 6 minutes.
That's not
So
letting
don't
me-
bother calling in now if you were thinking of it. There's just no time. But we are just about to move into the new year right here in the Pacific Zone, and that will conclude our journey tonight.
Wow. Yeah, it's been a great night.
It really
I
has.
absolutely enjoyed it.
Right. It's quite a long journey though, but a good journey.
That's true.
I mean, 3 hours is a big stretch.
It is.
I know Chris and Sheree always did 3-hour shows,
And it's like, how the hell do they do that?
I know that's just them. though.
What? I have no internet. Why do I have no internet? Meanwhile, I'm rubbing my nose because I can't see myself on the screen. Stop doing that, Dawn. It's not. Anyhow, yeah. For some reason, I just lost Facebook or YouTube.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah, interesting. Yeah.
Well,
I
the
guess
stream
it's
is
time to
still
shut up, Dawn.
No, it's never time to shut up, but it is time to prepare for 2019 right here in our Pacific Zone.
Yeah.
We're just literally
Yeah.
minutes away.
Woohoo! 2019.
So-
Bring it on.
So, ladies and gentlemen, 2019 for the
Ready.
portal is going to be an exciting year. It's going to be a year where hopefully we launch a whole lot of new things, that we take on a lot of new projects that we're really excited about doing.
Yes.
Some of it is just in idea only at this point, but as we, gain the ability, we will, look into doing investigations, streaming what we can,
Yep.
bringing them to you to be a part of, and hopefully getting out and meeting, some of you guys.
Maybe a paranormal trip across the United States.
Well, yeah, it'd be great if we could do a central point or something.
Oh yeah.
At least, or maybe a couple of them.
Yeah,
Different
yeah.
zones of the country that are reasonable for everybody to get to if they can. But yeah, these are things that are in our head, and I don't know if they can be accomplished in this next year or not. But I'm going to say that that's what we're shooting for. We're shooting for doing investigations. We're shooting for expanding the show, expanding the things that we can do with the show, and just continuing to evolve what the Paranormal Portal is. And so many of you have helped us out by way of donating, and thank you guys so much. That was truly unexpected. I didn't expect that, but you guys have just amazed us, and have
Yeah.
brought our dreams a little closer. Now the call board went out, so very strange. But I'm gonna have to kill the repeat one more time.
So let's see here. What does the computer say? 11:59, 37, 38, 39.
Right, I gotta.
20 seconds left. Woohoo! Woohoo!
It's just how we roll. But as soon as this, I gotta kill it one more time, and we're gonna welcome in 2019, and then we're gonna close the stream, and wish you all a wonderful night, and thank you for sharing it with us.
2, 1, midnight. Yay!
Did you get that?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's time.
I'm just listening to the headphones because we'll hear it.
Oh, okay.
So
It's
when
midnight according to my clock. How you doing?
Happy New Year, brother.
Happy New Year, sir. Thank you for letting me be here again. And there goes that.
All right, I'm restarting it. There it goes. So we're starting that. That's finished.
Okay.
So now, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for being here with us.
Absolutely.
Thank you guys for everything that you've brought to the show, all of your emails and calls and discussions. Many of you have been guests on the show yourselves, and you guys have really done amazing things. The portal is not just about Don and I. It's really not about us. It's about this community of people that we've brought together and that you guys have brought together to be a part of it. And it really is the sum of all its parts, and all of its parts includes you guys. You guys are truly the heartbeat of this machine. If you guys didn't tune in, if you guys didn't participate, I mean, I would still do it, and I'm sure Don, you would too.
But it's like you said, it's like when you're just talking to the mic and there's nobody there. It's like talking to yourself, and it's
Right.
weird.
It is,
Weird.
and I mean, even if nobody was really listening, I would do it because I would hope that maybe sometime somebody would bump into it and check it out. But
Right.
it's all about sharing these ideas and sharing this passion and this love for the paranormal. But you guys are right here, and you're taking part in it, and you're making it absolutely amazing. So thank you guys for that, and I don't know what to say other than I love you guys, and
Yeah.
thanks for making 2018 so amazing, and thank you for being with us as we head into 2019, and we're gonna see what we can do.
Mm-hmm.
We got 12
Absolutely.
months of magic ahead of us, hopefully. So, and I don't know what my moon sign is, so we'll have to do that on another show. I'll put it out there. And I was born on May the 1st at about 12:15 a.m. So
Oh,
I don't know what my moon sign is, but
it's don't go to the bar.
it was last
12:15
call.
a.m.
It was last call. That's what it was.
Can you imagine my mother at that time is like, he's coming now? It's 8:30 in the morning. I have a hangover.
Your mom was all sauced up. I'm not ready.
No, I can't do this yet.
She's still blowing the thing. Got the funny hat on.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
baby.
and now all she's doing is beating you in the head, going, God dang it.
Exactly. So, thank you guys so much for being here and being a part of this. We love you all so much. Be good, be kind, be nice, take care of each other. Don, anything in closing?
Love you all. Thank you very much for making me and Brent very, very lucky people in knowing all of you.
Yeah, you guys have been
And
amazing.
Happy New Year.
And Happy New Year to all. And to all, a happy 2019. I hope that your year is amazing too. Here we are. It's a fresh slate. It's a clean slate.
New year, new you.
Whatever resolutions you have, I hope you see them through, because, you know, you can't give up on yourself, most of all. I mean, whether or not you see a resolution through, it's up to you. But just think about it. I mean, it's all about your journey. It's all about your life. So create the life you want. And don't give up. Don't ever give up on what you're dreaming about. The portal was a dream, and it's become a reality in so many ways, and it's still a developing dream. So thank you all so much. I love you. Again, take care of each other, help each other out, and let's make this year just
stellar.
Just amazing. Just amazing. So you guys take care. And I'm going to roll the credits on the YouTube stream, and I'm going to get some sleep.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
And thank you, brother, for being here with me tonight.
Absolutely a pleasure.
It was my pleasure as well, and thank you for the libations. They were absolutely lovely.
Got to share those. I can't drink it all by myself very quickly.
Well, I'm glad you chose to share that with me.
Absolutely.
So. All right, guys, take care. Have a good night. Sweet dreams. If you're driving anywhere, be careful. But I just want you all to be safe, and we'll see you again tomorrow night for the bedtime stories. And then Don and I will be back on Wednesday for more of the mayhem that is the portal. So we'll see you guys then. We got some great shows lining up for the month of January here, so we'll be announcing all of those pretty soon. So guys, take care. Have a great night.
Love ya.
Sweet dreams. Love y'all.
Woo!